core products. All people working in the company are employed in this municipality. That's the Commander Edina Eguafo Abrim municipality. And they contribute 90% of the workers in the factory. Currently, Petersfield and Ray Group Company employs 65 permanent workers, 25 casuals, and has provided over 500 employment for outgrowers. And we have our nucleus farm that provides the company with the various fruits needed for production.
I'm working here for 2 years. Before I came here, I was having my own farm. I was doing cassava business and plantain. The farm has helped me a lot because when I didn't come here, I was facing a financial problem. So after 2 years, I came here. I was having some little money to solve my problems. At home and my farm. If government supports the farmer, I'll be happy.
It's Antadukoma. Me a Kojuma. And Kojuma, me and Mobadu, Banchi, Gontomre. Oh, a phone. And I'm a pesca, and I bought my family in the Bissat Tremojumen. And see me, Mamma, no, bumpy, when the women of medical school, after some Bissasham way, when I'm starting, and be I bomb my Samuel Danisi.
As a company, we are in the growth stage, going into the maturity stage, because all our product has been rolled out, and marketing is going on well. As a biochemical scientist with nutrition minor, I make sure that our product is one of the best for consumers to have the necessary nutrients to propel their lives to a height that God has given them. Petersfield and Rail Group has the best team one can ever have in such an industry. I want to leave a legacy with Redrock products to be one of the best in nutrition and food in Ghana and the rest of the world. Doing business in Ghana is one of the best that you can have in the world. Ghanaians are friendly, hardworking. The government is very supportive. We have good investment potentials. So I would advise that anybody who wants to do business in Ghana is welcomed because it's going to be it's always profitable. We are appealing to investors both in Ghana and outside Ghana to come and invest in Ghana and more so in Redrock products at Petersfield and Ray Group. Let's grow in Ghana and grow with Ghana.
State Housing Company is an agency under the Ministry of Works and Housing. We are the #1 nation builders. We offer homes for every Ghanaian. We're currently building in all the regions. We're building 2-bedroom apartments, 3-bedroom apartments, 2-bedroom and 3-bedroom standalone units. We also have our 4-bedroom and 5-bedroom deluxe homes as well. You can get state housing at Tamale, Cape Coast, Sunyani, Kumasi, and we'll currently start very soon in Volta region, and of course the capital city, Accra, as well. We're helping build communities. By building communities, we're also creating jobs where we are giving opportunities to artisans to take part in our projects as well, and also allowing other companies to get involved in state housing. I think what makes state housing remarkable is the fact that we're a government institution, but we operate with a private sector mindset. There's no litigation issues when you're purchasing from state housing. We offer excellent customer service, and we build with quality materials, and our payment terms are very flexible. We offer mortgage facilities where we are working with other banking institutions where they offer excellent rates for Ghanaians to purchase homes in Ghana. I think looking at Ghana overall, we are experiencing good thriving economy in terms of Ghana being the gateway to Africa. We have a stable political environment as well, where we've been very peaceful. We haven't had any issues in terms of civil war in Ghana, so obviously it makes it a destination for investors to invest in Ghana, especially in the housing industry. I think another thing we have to look at is the fact that we're also thriving. We've changed the organization structure of state housing, where we made ourselves very competitive to the open markets in terms of affordability we offer our clients. As an indigenous Ghanaian company, our legacy is to help reduce the housing deficits we're currently facing. We intend to help reduce the housing deficits by building more homes across the length and breadth of Ghana. We're looking at putting in systems of mortgage facility. We're looking at using innovative ways to build, which will help reduce the cost of construction. And that is the legacy we want to leave at State Housing Company. Ghana is the best place to do business. It has the fastest growing economy in West Africa, according to IMF and the World Bank. Not only do we offer residential projects, we are also into commercial activities as well in terms of building warehouse industrial parks. We offer SPVs, we offer joint ventures, we offer partnership, and we are also willing to work with individuals who are also interested in partnering with State Housing for us to help develop their properties. At State House, we have all the technical expertise, the full team in terms of the QS, the financial, and the business development department to help us market your products. We encourage you as an investor, both local and foreign, to come on board to partner State Housing Companies so that together we can grow in Ghana and grow with Ghana.
We are in the hospitality industry, so we have two parts of the business, the restaurant business and the hotel business. So for the restaurant business, we normally cater to food and drinks, and we provide also wedding packages for big parties or birthday parties. And for the hotel side, we provide rooms and services to both foreigner tourists and also as well local Ghanaians. So we are mature in the sense that we have been in business for 10, 15 years, but we see the growth year after year because of the economy in Ghana in general. You know, the population is growing, and then the middle class population is growing as well. And also last year there was the Year of Return events in Ghana. So that attracted a lot of foreign tourists in Ghana in general and as well as Kumasi. So that really helped and promoted our business a lot. I'm originally from Taiwan, and I came to Ghana actually with my parents in the 1980s. Ghana is a very attractive place for investment. My father has been here for a long time. We know the system, we know how stable the country is. We have seen the economic growth in Ghana. So I decided to come back to start the business, to take over my dad's business, and try to grow it in Ghana. The government regulations and the environment as a whole, the political environment, the safety issues, and it's very attractive for foreigners to come and invest in Ghana. And it's relatively easy, as you know, there's a GIPC, Ghana Investment Promotion Center, that is able to help you to navigate through the system, right? If you have a question regarding taxes, labor law, or how to get the licenses, they have the resources to help you out, right, to guide you which agency or which government institution to go and apply for the permit. So it has been a very good relationship, and I really appreciate what they have done for us and for foreign investors in Ghana. You know, in this industry, we have to employ a lot of workers in terms of housekeeping, kitchen staff, and waiter and waitresses. So we have employed over 50 employees during the regular season. And in the December, Christmas time, of course, we have to employ a lot more. It's beneficial to the local community in terms of employment. We are located close to the Redrock Park, close to the airport, about 15-minute drive from the airport. We are close to the Kumasi Mall, which is about 10-minute drive, and we are close to the Kumasi Royal Golf Club. So it's very convenient and there's no traffic. So it's the overall package that attracts the customers. So it's the quality of the food, service, and then the pricing, and of course the location. Whenever you visit Kumasi, please give us a chance to share our experience with you, to enjoy our environment, our food, and share the memory with us. So together, let's grow in Ghana and grow with Ghana.
When we set up the Universal Motors in 2004, we registered with GIPC, and that was the reason was to represent Volkswagen in Ghana. So we were the importers of Volkswagen in Ghana. When the government came out with the policy of assembling cars or introducing the automotive industry in Ghana, we jumped on the occasion immediately and informed our principals, Volkswagen, who showed immediately a big interest, definitely after promoting Ghana, talking about the ease of doing business, about the center of the earth, if you want, as well, and as being the hub for West Africa and hopefully Africa.
On a global platform, we're really a giant. We're the #1 automobile company. Coming into the Ghanaian market, we are very optimistic and very quite confident that we are going to also boost quality cars and the standards also into a top level.
Our target is to reach every single, possibly every single client or user, driver in Ghana by introducing cars from the entry segment like the Polo or the Gold, going up to the top segments.
We build the cars here. We make it much more affordable because the government policy, which is supporting the importation or having also import taxes below, this makes it much more affordable to a Ghanaian market. And I would not advise that you will go back to Europe and import the same car here. You will get it here. It's the same brand, it's the same engine, same standard, and also same quality.
Most of the current auto industry manufacturers around the world, China, for example, or Thailand, or other countries around the world, started the way we started now as SKD and developed to be one of the major manufacturers of auto industry. So we are moving step by step, developing with Ghana into the auto industry.
The economy is boosting, people are spending, and this is also our surroundings around the sub-Saharan Africa. Ghana has been always been the lead. So we saw Ghana as a foot, the gateway that we have to step in.
We have employed new people, but at the same time, with the growth, many more people are being employed.
We enter in here with our partner, Universal Motors, who is having over 300 staff here. We have a new engineers or mechanics that they are even, I would say, they are now doing the most wonders now in VW industry in Ghana. They are building the cars.
It's a very good first step into developing the auto industry, and this is the best way, the real way to grow in Ghana and then to grow with Ghana.
Fellow investors, we have taken the lead. It's all about collaboration, We invite you, let's all get together, grow in Ghana, grow with Ghana.
Wedi Africa is into the construction business. Currently, we are into food processing. That is fresh fruit, fresh tomato fruits processing into concentrate. Then later as part of our lines, we'll process the concentrate into a tomato mix or paste for the retail market. Wedi Africa is still in the incubation phase of our investment. So what we are doing currently is to complete the installation of our machines, the processing lines. We are about 95% through with the installation of the machines. Hopefully in the month of December, we'll have products on the market. Wedi Africa's main aim for coming into this space or this line of business, first is to reduce post-harvest losses, protect the livelihood of farmers, and to create jobs for the people of Brekum West and Ghana at large. Currently, we have about 120 people on site who have been tasked with varied responsibilities from civil works, electrical works, and general administration duties. At full production, we expect to have about 250 people on site and various capacities. That is direct employment. Currently, we have engaged about 2,000 farmers as part of our outgrower scheme, spanning from Tano North to Brekum municipal area. So we are looking at impacting about 2,250 lives directly and then indirectly. Wedi Africa is wholly Ghanaian owned. It is very difficult to come by a company in agro processing that is wholly Ghanaian owned. Our competitors are multinationals or coming from direct foreign investment. For us, we are processing fresh tomatoes from farmers, Ghanaian farmers, and then getting that into concentrate, and then later getting that into various tomato mix retail products. For us, it's all about growing Ghana, eating Ghana. GIPC have been partners with Wedi Africa since we started with the processes to install our plant here in Brekum at the factory site. We contacted GIPC when we needed some exemptions against custom duties to ensure that we cleared our machinery at a cheaper cost and bring them to Brekum. GIPC helped us with the process, and then we got the exemptions from customs. We think that the 1D1F as a structure or as a policy provides a lot of incentives for which local businesses need to take advantage of. We have decided to come into this under 1D1F to ensure that we get that exemption for our machinery that we brought in, easy access to funding, because a 1D1F facilitates your access to funding from Exim Bank, GCB, ADB, and a few Ghanaian-owned banks. Wedi Africa Limited, as part of 1D1F companies or factories, has received that facilitation from the Secretariat to receive some funding from Exim Bank. Exim Bank are key partners when it comes to funding. We are currently in talks with ADB as well through the same 1D1F structure to secure some further funding for our working capital needs. The business climate in Ghana has been improving over the years with direct efforts by government through various policies to reduce the tax burden on Ghanaian companies. Incentives such as getting 1% tax rate in agro processing, for instance, induced us to come into this part of the region.
With time reading exactly 15 minutes past the hour of 10, let me say good morning to you all and welcome to day 2 of the Diaspora Investment Summit. I am, by the grace of God, Jerry Ajololo, and I'm glad to be with you all once again. We're a little behind time, but I'm sure that by the time we start, all our members will join us. All our resource persons are around. They're in the waiting area. Ladies and gentlemen, a few house rules. Please keep your masks on. If you need to use sanitizers or any other protocol, please reach out to any of our ushers who are at the back. They'll be glad to assist you. The restrooms are located outside. Gentlemen, you're to the left. Don't ask me why, because the ladies are always right. But anything else we can do to make your stay here warm, comfortable, and fettered, please, I'm yours to command, together with my hosts of ushers. Ladies and gentlemen, if we can just wait for a little under 2 minutes, we shall receive all our guests, and the event will begin in full throttle. Thank you. And while we remain standing, let us begin this morning in the name of God, who is Father, Son, Holy Spirit, asking for his presence to come and superintend over this event from now until its successful ending. We ask all this through Christ our Lord with thanksgiving. Amen. Please be seated.
Woven co-designs eco-credential products for the home and interior spaces. We work with up to 200 female artisans in Bolgatanga. So we produce anything from woven baskets to woven goods for the home. We also participate in art exhibitions. We work with local foundations called Nabuke Foundation to create, cool exhibitions. So I've lived in Toronto, born and raised in Canada, primarily Toronto. I worked in retail for almost 17, 18 years before coming to Ghana. I worked in fashion, so I worked for Zara, some prominent companies in Toronto. I've been in Ghana for 3 years. I decided to come for family reasons, and I ended up just staying because the opportunities were great to scale my business and to just connect with my heritage. So I connect to my heritage through woven. It actually started about 5 years ago when I was coming back and forth to Ghana. My parents had retired, and so I was always coming back. And so, I started going to the northern region of Ghana, and I was just in love with a different type of fashion that's there. So you have textile weavers, you have shea butter producers, you have basket producers as well. And so I just found myself just submerging into the culture, and I just fell in love with it. Yeah, I actually didn't make the decision to stay. Like, it was never a specific date. I found that there was an opportunity here, and I knew how to operate with the system here, and I also know how to operate with the system outside. And so my customers are predominantly from North America. And so I just found that it was just a great place to be in. The weather was great, and the artisans were great to work with. And so we work with up to 200 women in Bolgatanga, predominantly master weavers, single weaver, double weavers. When you work with people who are from a marginalized community, you have to take into consideration the parameters that they work with. And so we provide skills training, we provide quality control, quality assurance. We teach a whole bunch of skills, actually, and we partner with Scaled Up Africa most recently to provide a capacity building training for up to 70 artisans, especially during COVID. We also worked with Google for an I Am Remarkable program, and so this is great for the young, especially the young weavers, in terms of making positive self-statements, because it's not just about the product, it's about the impact and how your team is able to scale their life while they're working with you. So we also partnered with Oze. They're also based in Ghana, and it was a great way to introduce, especially the young weavers that have smartphones, on how to formalize their businesses, how to keep track of the straw that they use, their output, and also an introduction to microfinancing. Woven Worldwide is in the incubation stage. Our predominant customers are in North America. My goal is to actually spread across Pan-African customers, so to take advantage of the Africa Free Trade Agreement, and also to move into Europe. And with these markets, design and product are really, really important. And so the artisans that we work with are really keen on following spec and dimensions that are needed for B2B markets. My message to the diaspora that want to return to Ghana, I would say for sure, come. Come with an open mind, come with no expectations. Don't compare Accra or any other city in Ghana to where you're from, because Ghana is unlike any other country. Ghana is fertile ground to start something, right? So when you do come, you will see so many opportunities. Whether it's agriculture, there is a booming and growing creative industry sector as well. I would say just come. The success of my business is a clear statement that the diaspora can indeed grow in Ghana and grow with Ghana.
On the back of this impressive diasporan story of growing Ghana and growing with Ghana, let me say good morning to you all and welcome to day 2 of the Ghana Diaspora Investment Summit, happening under the kind auspices of the Ghana Investment Promotion Center in partnership with the Diaspora Affairs Office of the President, the Beyond the Return Secretariat, the Diaspora and Africa Forum, the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, Ministry of Finance, and the Ministry of Information. We do this with the support of the German government through the implementation agency, the GIZ, and with funding support from the KGL Group with our media partner, City FM. I am, by the grace of God, Jerry Edemajololo, and I welcome you ever so warmly. Today we continue as we dwell on our theme, the new normal, leveraging diaspora investments to build back better. It is my joy to welcome in our midst this morning our guest of honor, the Minister of Finance of the Republic. Make welcome warmly the Honorable Ken Ofori-Atta. We're glad to have you in our midst. It gives me great joy to also acknowledge the presence of the Secretary General of the Africa Continental Free Trade Area, yours and mine, His Excellency Wamkele Mene. Welcome in our midst also, ladies and gentlemen, the founder and head of mission of the Diaspora Africa Forum of the Africa Union, Her Excellency Dr. Erika Bennett. Make welcome the CEO of the Ghana Tourism Authority, ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Akwesi Ajiman, and a host of other dignitaries I shall be acknowledging in the course of this event. It's been a very interesting day 1, and it's my pleasure to invite back again our host to welcome us formally. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Yofi Grant, the CEO of the GIPC.
Thank you very much, MC and Honorable Minister of Finance, Mr. Ken Ofori-Atta, the Secretary General of the African Continental Free Trade Area, my good friend Wamkele Mene, Ambassador Bennett, members of the Diplomatic Corps, ably represented here by the Canadian High Commission, Mr. Akwesi Ajiman, CEO of the Ghana Tourist Development Authority, Mr. Alex Dade from KGL, our major sponsor, and all those who are here today. Yesterday was a very exciting day and really packed, and I'm sure people are still trying to figure out what happened, and so they are coming in trickles. But all the same, indeed a warm welcome here. I think today we are probably going to have the most important aspect of the program that started yesterday. There's nothing more important happening to Africa than the AfCFTA. Indeed, the partnerships and the linkages that I spoke about yesterday dealt on that actually on the ages of SDG 1 and SDG 17 are manifesting very strongly in Ghana. And I believe that the Secretary General being here with us It's a blessing that we must all take, especially those in the diaspora, because it comes with the credibility of a bigger market, a bigger opportunity, and Africa's future. And the fact that we have the finance minister here also demonstrates that we are taking this whole engagement serious enough, because it's a national one, but it's not just a national one, it's a continental one. And as we mentioned yesterday, the diaspora is not just Ghanaians who are coming back, but everybody who has Africa in him or her, or her in Africa. And so with that, I have very few words to say, and I know that these are very, very busy people, a very, very busy time. So I will yield back to the MC, and may we have a happy and glorious and fruitful day. Thank you very much.
We're grateful to you, Mr. Yofi Grant, for that warm note of welcome. And so with everything set for us to receive the Africa Continental Free Trade Area in its fullness, it's my pleasure to invite the Secretary General of the AfCFTA to walk us through the role of Ghana's diaspora in harnessing investment opportunities presented by the AfTA. Ladies and gentlemen, His Excellency Wamkele Mene.
Thank you very much, Program Director, Honorable Minister of Finance, Minister Ofori-Atta, the CEO of Ghana Investment Promotion Center, Excellencies, ambassadors who are here today, this morning. It's an absolute pleasure for me to address this summit, this very important summit. It is the first summit in relation to the African diaspora that I have been given the honor to address. So I'm very pleased to be here today. The key point I would like to emphasize is that the diaspora has positive development potential, which when well harnessed will help to mitigate the development challenges of Africa. Over the years, links between the African diaspora and Africa have grown, especially since the recognition by the African Union of the African diaspora as the 6th region of Africa in 2003, complete with an administrative unit at the AU headquarters. In addition, contributing to this positive development is the adoption in May 2012 of a declaration that paved the way for the development and implementation of the AU Diaspora Program. And the Diaspora Engagement Project is an initiative of this program. However, there is still potential to enhance the engagements between Africa and the diaspora, not just in dealing with challenges such as COVID-19, but also in the pursuit of national economic development objectives and the AU's Agenda 2063, the Africa we want, as well as objectives of the African Continental Free Trade Area to boost intra-Africa trade and to reduce barriers to intra-Africa investment. Aside from economic impact, countries that have benefited most from their diaspora have engaged this group and implemented policies to recognize their role and give them incentives to invest and reduce costs of doing business. The Ghanaian diaspora has a significant role to play in the government's developmental objectives, in building a Ghana beyond aid, in the words of His Excellency President Akufo-Addo. Ghana does not have to reinvent the wheel in forging a meaningful link with its diaspora, since a number of initiatives have already been undertaken towards deepening the cultural linkages, tourism linkages, investment and trade linkages, bridging the divide between the diaspora of Ghana and Ghana, the country. Initiatives such as the highly successful Year of Return in 2019, designed to symbolize 400 years since the first enslaved African arrived in Jamestown, Virginia, in the US, resonated with the diaspora in the Caribbean, the Afro-Caribbean diaspora, African Americans, and Africans in other parts of the world. Going forward, such initiatives could be reimagined to extend beyond tourism and target foreign direct investment and business partnerships, focusing on untapped but potentially high-yielding sectors of Ghana's economy. This conference is, of course, a step in that direction. The agreement establishing the AfCFTA, whose implementation commenced on the 1st of January 2021, provides a platform where the African diaspora can play an important role in the economic development of their countries of origin and the continent as a whole. There is now increased and diversified opportunities to promote trade and foreign direct investment, create business, and spur on entrepreneurship, particularly amongst small, medium enterprises, thereby transferring new knowledge and skills within the AfCFTA market. Today, I'm happy to report to you that 38 countries out of 55 have ratified the agreement establishing the AfCFTA, thereby symbolizing that they legally accept the obligations to open their markets, to reduce their barriers to trade, reduce barriers to investment, and to adhere to the single set of rules for trade and investment that we have agreed to in the form of the AfCFTA. This has been an unprecedented achievement for the African continent, certainly since the end of colonialism. By providing a large and attractive market with reduced cross-border barriers, investors can now take advantage of a larger revenue projects on a continental rather than a national scale. The AfCFTA therefore offers an opportunity and an apt response to the reluctance of investors to invest in small, fragmented, and uncompetitive national markets. You may be aware that we are now at the last stages of negotiating phase 1 of the AfCFTA, which is being negotiated as we speak today here in Ghana, Accra. Phase 2 will involve agreements, protocol on investment, competition policy, intellectual property rights, digital trade, women and young people in trade. On the basis of the timetable that has been set by the Assembly of Heads of States, we aspire to conclude these outstanding negotiations by December 2021. The AfCFTA rules on investment are particularly important and will likely include substantive investment protections provisions and a set of separate rules for the resolution of investment disputes. Meanwhile, while we are about to start working on the protocol on investments, the protocol on trade and services already negotiated has provisions regarding investment, and one of the objectives of these provisions is to foster domestic and foreign investment on the African continent. The AfCFTA seeks to enhance the value proposition for investment by reducing investment risk in Africa and enhancing Africa's ease of doing business. AfCFTA rules, including the protocol on the resolution of investment disputes, are for the first time positioning Africa to be a destination of investment that is governed by a single set of rules for trade and investment. Furthermore, the negotiations and effective implementation of Phase 2, which includes intellectual property rights, will create a strong enabling environment for IP protection. Administration and enforcement of IP rights, which will stimulate innovation and competitiveness of the business sector, particularly small, medium enterprises. Intellectual property rights provide incentives to investors to develop new knowledge, innovation, and the right to obtain a patent for an invention, for example, encourages the investment of money and effort in research and development. This is certainly one of our aspirations in Africa through the AfCFTA, is the enhancement of research, innovation, and development. I encourage the Ghanaian diaspora community to take advantage of the opportunities presented by the AfCFTA by harnessing the trade and investment engagements within the country and also on the continent, leveraging on this market of 1.3 billion people with a combined GDP of 3.4 trillion United States dollars, which the World Bank projects by the year 2035 will be close to 8 trillion United States dollars. Efforts to attract the diaspora could also focus on 3 economic areas: investments, knowledge, skills, and trade facilitation. In terms of investments, mechanisms may be established to attract investment, to tap into the diaspora as a preferred foreign direct investor in continental infrastructure projects, for example. From the perspective of knowledge and skills, the diaspora may be in a position to provide long-term and short-term human capital support in strategic sectors of Africa's economy. Human capital support can begin with knowledge transfer from the diaspora back to the African continent through collaboration, mentoring, and training, amongst other efforts. For the diaspora, the continent is enticing as an investment destination on many fronts. It remains the continent that with the fastest growing economies as well as the youngest population. You will recall that in 2019, before the onset of the pandemic, of the 10 fastest growing economies in the world, 6 were on the African continent, growing at an average of 3.5% at that time. The continent's youth dividend will also make the continent attractive as a potential global manufacturing base in future. The digital platforms that have been introduced in the wake of the pandemic will facilitate not just intra-Africa trade, but also enable real-time communications with the diaspora outside of the continent. The next wave of investment into African markets should be forward-looking, focusing on sectors that will define the continent's growth in the coming years. The past decades saw foreign direct investment flow into areas such as telecommunications, consumer products, industries, and of course, recently, due to COVID-19 dynamics, we have seen an emergence of a new digital economy, as well as an emergence of the healthcare economy. All of these areas present very unique opportunities for the diaspora to invest in. The COVID-19 pandemic has created a global crisis, but also an opportunity to reframe diaspora engagement with Africa. With the launch and operationalization of the AfCFTA, the discourse about Africa is shifting from one of challenges and gaps to one about opportunities, the prospects, and the future. Africa is now receiving a high level of interest as an investment destination from investors across the globe. Indeed, the AfCFTA is creating a narrative that should inspire the diaspora to explore opportunities in the continent and to invest in strategic sectors that will contribute to Africa's industrial development. As the pandemic begins to ease and the economic recovery of many countries gets underway, the diaspora all over the world is welcome to join us to contribute to this historic mission of fostering a strong and sustainable economic development path in Africa. Today, the case for investing in Africa is stronger than ever. Africa will remain a competitive investment destination for decades to come because of its improving relative risk profile, the proliferation of democracy across the continent, continental integration, and of course, continued efforts at industrial development. I therefore encourage the diaspora to invest in Africa, invest in Ghana. I want to join you in this effort to accelerate Africa's investment prospects, and I want to commit to you that the AfCFTA Secretariat will remain a strong partner for you, will remain a strong partner for Ghana. I wish you very, very successful deliberations. Thank you. Thank you very much.
One more time, ladies and gentlemen. His Excellency Wamkele Mene, Secretary General of AfCFTA. The takeouts are a lot, and it really set the tone for that great panel discussion we'll be having later on in the morning, Economic and Investment Cooperation with Ghana's Diaspora. But I believe it ties in perfectly with the theme we're reflecting on, the new normal, leveraging the diaspora's investments to build back better. Who better to deliver the keynote than our very own Minister of Finance of the Republic? Make welcome the Honorable Ken Ofori-Atta.
Good morning, and it's really good to be here. Thank you, Wamkele, for that. And Madam Ambassador, thank you for joining us today. And all of the other development partners, and of course, our diasporans who are here online and present with us, and all the investors. It's a real honor to be here this morning. My colleague, Mr. Grant, thanks for putting this together. Ambassador Bennett and the team, we really appreciate your commitment to our country over these many years, and thank you. So it's really exciting to be here as a returnee myself. I think I've been back since 1990, but people always find a way to call me a returnee. And I've gone through 5-6 elections, and they still feel you've just come. But it's really good to be home, and it's a very different country than 1990 when Kelly and I came back home not knowing what we were going to do, but we did. We took the chance, and it's been good. So Yofi and I have worked together maybe longer than either of us care to admit, from primary school through sixth form, and then working. We actually had a competition when we were in primary school where the best reader will go to the secondary school to read on the nativity play at Christmas. And since his father had been an ambassador before, his English was much better than mine. So that's good. Thank you, Yofi, for all these years of loyalty and friendship. It's good. So getting back to the theme, and I think it's an interesting point because last year was a year of just untoward proportions of things we had never expected to experience, and Africa was under extreme duress and continues to be. Thank you. Was under extreme duress and continues to be. And the numbers are staggering because you have literally a contraction of some 2%. Ghana were able to eke out some 0.4%. But 113 maybe million people lost their jobs. We had 30 million people going into extreme poverty and about 39 million into poverty. And our debt to GDP ratios moved from like 52 to 70%, which made it distressed and unsustainable. And then we also saw the injustice of the system when you begin to look at, the vaccine record, where 68 of 100 people in the West may have had their doses, and you have, is it 2 or something out of 100 for Africa. There's suddenly been a bit of a reversal, and I think there's a lot more consideration for that. But it just shows you the structure of the global financial landscape, and when you add it to the actual use of funds, where maybe close to 15 trillion was used by the G20 to support their economies, about 20% of their GDP. And we were barely able to do about 2% of our economies, leaving our people extremely vulnerable. So the very structure of the global financial architecture is just not, fit for purpose. And it was done in the Bretton Woods time, 1946-3, which meant that they were looking at the investment and savings gap to then support a post-war agreement. I think Ethiopia might have been the only African country at the table at that time. So clearly, there needs to be a rethink, really a tectonic shift in that. And that's where then you begin to look at AfCFTA as a new chassis and understand this 400 years of our brothers and sisters being taken away as to whether it's actually now a resource that has to be fully developed, exploited, brought home, and the resources are just incredible. So the combination of a new platform of AfCFTA, combine that with the talent and the resources of the diaspora, and then getting out the rigidities and the injustices of illicit financial flows, taxation, etc., really changes the whole future for us. Classical economists literally says the person who brings the equity gets the most return. So if you assume that we bring most of the raw material, which is the equity, to then value add, how come we are not getting the returns that we should? And I think that's a new bold thinking that we should, insist on, exert, and make things change. So for us in Ghana, since we came into office, I guess our preoccupation was to stabilize the macro framework to enable people to be able to plan properly. So how do you create economic freedom such that, it's not excessive taxes, but ways in which you can support production and productivity. And also at the same time, have a sort of liberation theology, understanding of a preferential treatment for the poor so that social mobility will go up, which meant fundamentally for a right to center party, you talk about capital. And our best capital, of course, is a human resource. And therefore, the amount of the choices we made to put resources into education and skills training as foundational, because then it's limitless, what people can do with their talents. So that's what we've been going on. And I suspect that we've been reasonably successful because in the wake of the pandemic, it is quite clear that but for the store value that we had done the 3 years, it would have been a very sad story. But amongst all of that was a clarity of ensuring that social good was done. So in the farming community, almost 2 million people benefited from the Planting for Food program. Free senior high school led to 1.2 million people now being there as opposed to them not being in school. 1D, 1F led to over 100 factories around the country. Graduate beneficiaries, NAPCO school feeding program literally doubled so that we could give the meals a day. So the issue is, how do you create a society of fairness and social mobility and reduce your Gini coefficient so that, there's a sort of equality in the progress that we're making. Then the pandemic hit, and the president was very clear in his mind that we had the competence to fix the economy, but certainly not the miraculous hand to bring people to life. So we put a lot of resources into that, and that led to almost maybe 25 billion in terms of lost income and increased expenditure. But that was the president's choice, and that was a good way to show faith with the people of Ghana. But even within that was a 750 million program for the CAP bus, which was to support micro enterprises and put some fuel into the economy as stimulus. And I think that held us well. Bank of Ghana also gave quite a bit of forbearance to the banks to ensure that there was a lot more liquidity than before. So the crisis, which you shouldn't waste, presented a unique opportunity to bounce back. So for us in government, we were encouraged to do as such by the president, who said we should use a crisis to recreate our country by tackling the fundamental challenges which have previously inhibited our development. So he charged us at the ministry to put a blueprint together for our recovery. And that's what we did with what we called the Ghana Cares Obatampa program. And I truly encourage all of us, thank you, to read the document and plug into it, because it clearly outlines where we want to go as a country the next 3 years. And it's developed by us, for us, within the umbrella of the Ghana Beyond Aid document, which I hope you've all seen. But the Ghana Beyond Aid document essentially has 3 pillars. One which says, who are we as Ghanaians? And therefore, what are the issues of discipline, attitude, hard work, the virtues that will move us forward and not feel entitled, but truly work and sacrifice to build the nation that we should have. The second is whether we can create a broad consensus of where we should go as a nation, so that the discussions about our future is truly about we all acknowledging the direction we should go, CSOs, parliamentarians, citizens, and then we argue on the margins, but not on every issue, which then makes it difficult to move forward. And then the third leg, of course, is the transformation revitalization program, which we've designed through the Ghana Cares Obatampa program. And that's where we are. But this program essentially has 30% is a 100 billion program. That's a quarter of our GDP, which is the largest such thing any government has done or seeking to do, of which 30% should be government funded and 70% would be private sector funded through JVs. And that's where the issues of AfCFTA and diasporans come into play. How do we galvanize this hidden treasure, in a sense, to then move into an era of an Africa beyond aid? But the numbers are incredible. A mere 1% change in world trade with Africa leads to about $70 billion for us. As the DG said, the World Bank has also calculated a change in intra-trade, which will lead to trillions of dollars for us. The recent issues of discussions on minimum tax of 15% will lead to a change of illicit financial flows, which is about 88 billion that leaves this country. And it's not by marauding pirates, but by very decent multinationals who we can't chase because we don't have the technology. And so the 15% minimum, will bring quite a bit of resources. We just did some analysis, was it last week, about some of the oil companies, and the effective tax was about 4%. And, you begin to understand how these things are legally done. So the challenge for us to the diasporan community is the appreciation of this new document as to what we're going to do the next 3 years to become a regional hub, because now we have the mandate to do that, with AfCFTA being here to encourage industrialization, agribusiness, fintech, the very encouraging response by Twitter and Google in this country, and to use, therefore, the knowledge of the diaspora beyond issues of remittances, which are quite impressive because of about 2-3 million Ghanaians outside, that results in nearly 3 billion plus remittances a year. And that's an incredible productivity level that we have. And then if you move to the broader diasporan community, I think that's about 142 million around the globe. The US has about 43 million of them, Brazil 15 million. And on the US statistics side, I think you have about 1.4 trillion buying power of the African American community in there, expected to grow to 1.8 to 2 trillion in short order. So you can see the limitless there, but that's just money. The real issue is the talent that we can tap into for in any area that we want, which will bring a whole renaissance to us. So there has to be deliberateness and care and a response factor. And we have to also own what occurred 400 years ago and understand that this is not really a revenue-seeking mechanism, but one of showing solidarity and dignity and a homeland for our diasporans. So the president also has directed that we have a Homeland Act, which then will legitimize the way in which our brothers and sisters can come in safely in a way that, really brings the diasporan community together and bring Africa back to what it should be. So it's not only economic, it's spiritual, it's a sense of belongingness, it's a sense of coming back together as a people and really reasserting the black race in where it should be. And will there be difficulties in coming? Of course, there'll be difficulties in coming, and we have to make sure that we smoothen that path, and we have a commitment to that. I think one thing that Ghanaians need to accept, which is humbling, I believe Ghana has a manifest destiny of greatness, but it is that greatness can be procured when we are very clear that Ghana is not a geography, but Ghana is an idea of independence and unity and freedom, which Nkrumah started and catalyzed the whole independence of the continent. And now, 60 years later, we have been given AfCFTA, which is economic emancipation, another idea that trade and investment is now the new order, and how are we going to take care of it? And how do you create this green space pillar of stability to really draw in the talent that we have globally and correct, a historical blunder, which one of our historians called an issue which has no justification whatsoever. This is Professor Dubois that we must correct. So it is due time for us to do that, and I think the commitment from the country is clear. So for Ghanaians who are coming back, I did that some 30 years ago, and it's really, actually our experience has been that we should come with all modesty, open minds, no expectations, but you are coming home. Opportunities do abound, and this is your land, So with all the what's and whatever, you went to a foreign land and succeeded. You must have more tolerance for the inefficiencies that you face, but this is home. And home demands sacrifices. We will do what we can to accelerate and facilitate, but truly it has to be a heart game. Now this is where, in the end, I want to make my contribution to my country and to the black race. So we've gone through quite a bit. I think GIPC has a lot of areas that one can invest in. Ministry of Trade has a 10-point transformation agenda. So the path is laid out. And as the lady said at the beginning, it's from Toronto. There's just enormous opportunities that you can see, that maybe even I can see, to grow in Ghana and to grow with Ghana. Because really it was outlandish when Kelly and I landed some 30 years ago in 1990 and said that we're going to start an investment bank. Two people with no cash, precocious young people, and to start an investment bank with an office in a cousin's construction firm in Kantamanto. Now, that's like a pipe dream. 30 years later, you have over 500,000 clients. You are managing over $1 billion worth of capital, and you realize that it can be done. It can be done, and this is a great place for that. So now, with the privileged position of being at Ministry of Finance, one has absolutely deep empathy and an appreciation of what that first modest step can lead to. And therefore, you can be sure that we will be there to help you in whichever way you choose to. But I think we have a deep responsibility to personally make those decisions so that the changes in governments, the vicissitudes of politics, It's not what you look at, but you look deep down in your heart as to why you are coming, and that this is the place. Ghana is an idea that has to be unfurled. It's spiritual, it's economic. 400 years is here with us, and we should all come back home. Thank you very much indeed.
One more time, ladies and gentlemen, the Honorable Ken Ofori-Atta. We're so grateful for that very insightful keynote address, a true story of barriers, 10 breakthroughs on the back of open mindsets, optimism, and lots of sacrifices. I believe a natural consequence of these two remarks certainly would be a conversation on economic and investment cooperation with Ghana's diaspora. Much as we would have loved the Honorable Ken and His Excellency to stay with us, they have to attend to other duties. So respectfully, I ask that we put our hands together and appreciate their time with us and for their thoughtfulness. Respectfully, I'll ask that you please proceed to the front for a group photograph, if it pleases you. I would invite to join you the CEO of the GIPC, Your Excellency Dr. Bennett, together with Mr. Kwesi Ajiman. Mr. Alex Dade, respectfully, I invite you. Yes. If it pleases you, Honorable Ken, I would like to invite for the last set, members of the diplomatic corps herein present. Respectfully, I invite Your Excellencies to please join. All members of the diplomatic corps, please. Oh, respectfully, I invite the Minister of State, responsible for finance, to please join us, the Honorable Charles Edubuahing. So, ladies and gentlemen, I ask that we rise, put our hands together as we see off the Honorable Minister of State, the Honorable Minister of Finance, I beg your pardon, and His Excellency Wamkele Mene. Thank you very much. We wish you all the best. Okay. And so coming up now is that very robust conversation on economic and investment cooperation with Ghana's diaspora. Our moderator is on hand. I ask that we please take our seats. Let's receive our sponsor's video, and thereafter we shall have the panel. Thank you.
Wake up on a perfect morning. Charlie, we go change the money. Yo, Nasi. Never. Never demand the hustle. Dream day strong. Hey. Family be everything.
And this is how we double our profit.
And we still the sport there for way. Then pass through make Lotto doctor sort me out one time.
Your banker.
Then it's a wrap. Chilly some way. We still dey chase the money. But just say now no giddy. See, family still be everything.
Baby number 2.
So Righty wanna live 4 day online.
Yes, boss.
But offline there, Charlie, you know they match. Lotto doctor, play how you want on app, phone, online. Things change, you are not all bad. 590 mobile, S, the new normal.
Of today's engagement. And for this very important discussion, the economic and investment cooperation with Ghana's diaspora. You would all agree with me that yesterday was very insightful. the panel discussions, and the numerous opportunities we showcased in real estate and in ICT. Today, we take it a notch higher as we kickstart with this all-important conversation. I'd like us all to be seated as we receive our moderator, ladies and gentlemen, the General Manager of City TV and City FM, Mr. Bernard Avle. A round of applause as he comes.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Jerry. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, and thank you for staying for the second part of the program. We want to thank our special guests as they leave. If you can have the door shut. And please smile. You look too serious in your mask. It's just a conversation. Are we excited? Are we happy or are we happy? Put your hands together for yourselves, please. Thank you very much. And we'll be talking about economic and investment cooperation with Ghana's diaspora. We have a very, very exciting panel. I will be calling them up promptly to come and join me up here as we delve into the issues of money. The issues of money. And it is a great pleasure to have here in our midst 5 very interesting people. We have a Minister of State at the Ministry of Finance. We have the chairman of one of Ghana's most vibrant organizations, making inroads into various parts of the continent. When we see their adverts on television, we feel proud. We also have a company doing some great things in the pharmaceutical space. And then we have one of Ghana's oldest companies, a company that's older than the country. I mean, I don't know how that works, but I'm sure when Kelly comes, he'll tell us about that. And then we also have somebody in agribusiness. So it's a nice panel. So in no particular order, I want to invite Kelly Gajeko. Kelly is the Group CEO of the Enterprise Group. Please put your hands together for Kelly. People say I look like Kelly or Kelly looks like me. I don't know which is which. I don't know. It just means I'll make a lot of money very soon. So I'm very happy to look like you. Mr. Alex Dade, Chairman of Casa Preco Group Limited. Please put your hands together for him. KGL Group Limited, forgive me. KGL Group Limited. Dr. Vera Asante is the CEO of Well Check and Wholesale Compounding Pharmacy. Did I get that right? Put your hands together for Dr. Asante. Well Check and Wholesale Compounding Pharmacy. Desmond Kone is the founder and CEO of Complete Farm. Desmond, where are you? Okay, nicely branded. Please welcome Desmond. And last but certainly not least is Honorable Charles Edubuahin, Minister of State at the Ministry of Finance. Wow. Fantastic. And today we have a very, very clear mandate. So we need money, we need men, generic, and we need materials. And we're focusing on economic and investment cooperation and how we can benefit from the diaspora community. I want to do a quick mic check. Please make sure your mic is working. Kelly, just say hello, 1, 2. Hello, 1, 2. Your mic is masked. There's no mic. Wow.
Hello?
Please, I need one more mic. Yes. KGL, is your mic working? Say hello. Desmond, let me check you out.
Hello?
I need a mic for Dr. Asante. Please, Charles. Charles' mic is off. They want to gag the government. That's what they always do. They don't want the government to respond to problems, so they've gagged you.
Hello?
It's deliberate.
Yes.
Hello. Beautiful. So before we even get into the panel, I think it's important to know who we have here and what they do. So I'm going to give each panelist 1 minute. Kelly, who are you? What do you do? Just in like 30 seconds.
Kelly Gajepo. I'm a Group Chief Executive Officer of Enterprise Group. It's a financial services company. I'm also co-founder of Data Bank Group, together with Honorable Ken, and I'm a citizen of Ghana.
Fantastic. Thank you very much, Kelly. Let's come to Mr. Dade.
My name is Alex Dade. I'm the executive chairman of the KGL Group.
Okay.
An entrepreneur. We're involved in digital technology, logistics, and a few other industries.
Fantastic. Thank you, Alex. Dr. Asante?
Hello, I'm Vera Asante. I am the CEO for WellCheck, and I'm also the CEO for Petha Ghana Limited. It's an IT company. We build softwares for healthcare sector and agri sector.
Beautiful. Let's come to agribusiness. Desmond.
Yeah, hello, my name is Desmond Connie. I'm the CEO of Complete Farmer. Complete Farmer basically enables commodity buyers, agricultural commodity buyers, to build supply chains on a digital platform. Thank you.
Thank you. Charles.
Hi, my name is Charles Edubois, and I am the Minister of State designate at the Ministry of Finance. Prior to that, I was the Deputy Minister at the Ministry of Finance. I moved back to Ghana in 2006, 2007, similar to Ken and Kelly, set up my own investment banking, asset management business, and also real estate business.
Fantastic.
And so I've had the private sector experience, and now I'm getting the public sector experience. So it's been an interesting journey. Thank
Brilliant. So what I'm trying to do with this panel is to get a sense of the importance of the diaspora in 3 areas. So investments, then we'll look at trade briefly, and then skills transfer, or knowledge and skills transfer. So the panel has people who understand all of this, but there are many nuances to the discussion. Yesterday, Jerry, the MC, kept emphasizing that we're expecting up to $3.6 billion in remittances, private remittances, which was actually more than UOFI was targeting for this year in terms of FDI, which is absolutely mind-boggling. So my opener would be quick thoughts around the importance of the diaspora in terms of money coming in. Because we do know a lot of these monies are private and they are building houses at Ashoman and stuff like this. But Kelly, maybe because you've lived in both worlds, how important will diaspora in money be in the next 5-10 years for Ghana? Whether privately in terms of individual pockets or publicly in terms of some of the arrangements and investments?
Well, in my view, I think it's going to define and also structure what Ghana will be. And I say that because private capital itself, and especially the one that comes from the heart, is different from institutional capital that sees things from, if you like, merely just an investment point of view. So, like, for me, when I go around, especially in Accra, where I'm more familiar, the things that impress me most are not what institutional investment and big corporations or companies seeing opportunities are doing. Not to say they are not important. They, of course, we all know they are important. That's, job creation and everything else. But what private capital, especially the one that comes from the heart, the one that, so you're walking somewhere and you see, who's this? You say, this is someone who settled in Ghana from Jamaica, and this is what they're doing. Yeah. This is someone who's, it's fantastic. So for me, I know that the texture of this country, when we wake up in 30 years, 50 years, 100 years, and we say Ghana, it's going to be more defined by private diasporan capital.
Why do you talk about coming from the heart?
Because it's not merely profit motivated. Okay. There's nothing wrong with profit. I love profit.
Yeah.
But it comes from the heart. Profit comes from the heart. Impact on community comes from the heart. Relationship comes from the heart. Fulfilling a need. And things like that. And those ones, I tell you, I don't know if you've been in these groups that when people are going to make investments, they, those ones, you don't get that texture from those. That one is from the heart.
It's purer.
It's pure and it's well motivated.
Let me jump to Charles, because I've heard of things like diaspora bond. Is it within the same spirit? He is talking from a private sector perspective. From a finance ministry perspective, would you be as bold as Kelly in saying that diaspora money would define and structure, because that's a very serious thing to say, the next decade? Will you also be able to say that? Or Or you'll be a bit more cautious?
Yeah, actually, I tend to look at remittances from a very different angle. Not really different. I see remittances as the result of the exportation of human capital by Ghana. Same way we export cocoa, we export gold, we have we export oil and gas. We have an excellent education system, so we are cranking out nurses and doctors and teachers who find their way into another country, proffer those services, get paid a salary, and remit a portion of this salary back to Ghana. So what we've set up here is a machinery that churns out very well-educated people who seem to be able to work well in the diaspora. And in my private sector experience working all across Africa, I came across a lot of people who were like, oh, you're from Ghana, my teacher was Ghanaian, such a great teacher, I learned a lot. From South Africa all the way to Nigeria, I always encountered that. So you realize that we have something that we need to capitalize on, and that is a vehicle that if we invest in our human resources, we can generate the same amount of foreign capital or reserves or revenue that we do from gold or oil or whatever.
So you're saying the diaspora and their investment as even part of some strategy where we deliberately encourage our people to go out there to offer services, and then the money they get, they bring it back here. It's not just some happenstance. It's something you feel is payback time.
Absolutely. And I think that, you know, as far as we inculcate a sense of belonging to Ghana and the fact that there's always a home for you to come back to, and they are proud of what we are achieving here, Ghanaians will always be proud to support their people back home, remit monies back home, as far as they know that they will get to do what they're supposed to do. I know like one big frustration with Ghanaians abroad is they want to build a house, buy a piece of land. But there's always trouble, you know, they try several times, they lose money, they get frustrated, and they say, forget it. So what we can do is create an enabling environment, an environment that allows people to remit funds, and the funds get used for the purpose of which, and it's a very transparent process. It's very easy for them to do what they want to do, to make an investment, and so forth and so on. So it encourages them to continue to do so. Because eventually, a lot of them still want to come back home to retire. We see right now, even African Americans and so forth, all looking to migrate back to Africa. And you see that we are quickly becoming a destination of choice. And so we need to make sure that we make it an attractive place to come to.
Thank you. Dr. Asante, all of us here have a connection personally with the diaspora. But what I want you to tell me more about is your organization and the kind of work you do. Is there any connection at all to the diaspora in terms of how it started, in terms of expectations for money to come in? Or because for all the people in this room, you would say that you have a cousin abroad or you've come back yourself, so it's not complicated. But we are looking at using that resource to channel private sector as investment. So I don't know if there's anything in your story or journey that you can share which gives us a clue to the potential of what the diaspora can do as far as investment in Ghana is concerned.
Yes, thank you. For me personally, I've lived in the U.S. for almost 30 years. I left when I was very young, and I've always wanted to come back. So as far as what I'm doing now, I moved back to Ghana about 2 years ago, and what I'm doing in the pharmaceutical sector is something different. We talk about investment, we talk about transfer of knowledge and skills. And so for me, it was important for me to bring back the knowledge and the skills that I've acquired abroad, and to bringing it back into Ghana to grow the economy. That's one. Number two, I also wanted to make it impactful. I'm in the healthcare sector, but beyond that, I'm also into the IT sector. Beyond that, I'm also in the IT sector. And I'm using the IT, what we're doing with IT is trying to connect people, trying to solve the informal sector issues of health insurance. And so we wanted it to be impactful. So for me, I think as far as investment or what my story was is when I left, Ghana was totally different from what it is now. And I feel like what we bring to the table as foreigners or as diasporans is very important in growing the economy. And so what I brought back was the transfer of skills and knowledge, and also, trying to make an impact on a larger level.
So you agree with Kelly when he says your type of coming back is purer?
Oh, yeah.
It's not just because you're looking for money.
No, it's personal. And I completely agree with him, because when it's personal, the commitment is there. When it's about revenue and it's about money, when the frustration comes, because it does happen, especially in Africa, then you give up. That's why a lot of people, when their sole purpose of coming back or investing in Africa is about financial money, then they tend to give up easily. But when you're coming back with a purpose of building, nation building, I think it becomes a personal something for you. It's intentional. And so it makes the commitment level a bit more, and you tend to stay. So that's why he said that kind of money or that kind of investment is better.
You've also touched us into the second level. You're talking about the skills transfer. So for somebody who's lived in the US for 30 years, you're in the pharmaceutical industry, what kind of skills would a person like you bring to Ghana or to Africa? Because people keep saying it's a skills transfer thing. Is it that when you work in America, things are faster, it's more difficult, and therefore you are smarter? Just give me a sense of the type of know-how that a person like you or somebody in your bracket would bring to an economy like ours.
Okay. So the first thing is what I'm doing at my pharmacy. I knew coming back home, I wasn't just going to open a pharmacy, because I see pharmacy in every corner. And I didn't want to come and do just anything that everybody is doing. So I wanted to bring something different to the table. And so I started this compound. I believe when I went to FDA to get it registered, I was the only one, or maybe there was one person before me who had attempted to register a compounding pharmacy. And what compounding pharmacy? We in Ghana, many a times we get medications, and we have to, because we don't make anything here, we don't manufacture anything here, we have to get it in however we get it, in the formulation that we get it. But in the US, there are, especially in the pediatric population, there's times where they cannot take a formulation that is readily available on the market, and we have to change it into a different formulation for them. So for me, it was important for me to tap into that market of changing the formulation or compounding. It's called customized medication. Okay. So I am trying to customize medication, especially because we lack what is on the market. We don't make it, and we don't make it to fit what we have the population here. It was important for me to bring that skill here. And that is a big industry in America, because a lot of independent pharmacies in America, which I had my own pharmacy back in the US, we were doing a lot of compounding, and it was a big market. So for me coming back, it was important to do something different, and I felt like that was a market that I wanted to tap into.
Thank you. Let me come to Desmond, and thank you for sharing. I appreciate it. I'll come to Desmond if I come to Alex. Desmond, you are in farming. Yesterday, one of our speakers, what's his name? I think it was Neil Coney. I forget the name. Neil something. The guy who, Neil Oku. Neil Oku says, well, when you're in America, you hear Africa has the largest arable land. We have young people, so all of us come and farm. So basically, that's the initial thing people hear. You are into complete farmer. So tell me a bit about your business model, and is there any relationship with the diaspora at all, or are you open to diaspora investments? Let's hear from you.
So at Complete Farmer, what we've done is to build a platform where anyone can just plug in and farm. Okay. And so we've built an infrastructure that uses satellite imagery, so people are able to see what's going on the ground. All right. We've collected a lot of data on farming processes to make sure that what you are growing meets the standards of industries. Okay. And industries are ready to offtake. And so we've built an end-to-end platform that enables both stakeholders, industries, growers, farmers, to then connect and interact. So we have a lot. When we started initially, to go to the banks to ask for some capital to farm, two nerdy guys going to the bank, you're not going to be successful.
Okay.
So a lot of the initial capital to set this up and build this infrastructure was due to diasporan engagements that we had in the beginning. So we went, fortunately, we went to Silicon Valley. I was with Senna, your sister. Saram, yeah. So we basically met a lot of people in the diasporan community to get that initial capital to set up in the beginning. And that's very patient capital because with what we wanted to build, we needed some sort of capital that allows us to build the infrastructure first before we then start running the business model. If not, we wouldn't have been able to thrive till date. And a lot of participation on the platform has been from the diaspora as well. So it's been possible because of most of those.
So you work with my sister, you didn't offer me shares in your company. Wow. So just to get it straight, somebody lives in Boston. They've been working for 20 years in the US. They want to do farming in Ghana. They don't need to go to Asuchari, walk in the muddy water, and look for land to do rice farming. You can farm for them.
Yes. We can set all that up. They get all the documents, a lot of the data. There's full transparency on the platform. So we can set all that up. They get to monitor the production as it goes on.
Seriously?
Yeah. And
do they meet the farm manager?
There are farm managers that are assigned. So that's the great thing. We are engaging with farmers and training farmers on what is the best way. So, for instance, farming is seen as it's very technical.
Okay.
So how do you produce maize if it's going to be used for baby food? It's different from how you would produce that same maize for probably its starch content. So basically, we've developed these protocols that enables the farmers to be able to plant to meet these requirements as well. So people are then able to then set up their farms and get this trained farm managers who are already farmers to then do the work on their behalf.
Okay. Let's be honest here. Guys, before today, had any of you heard of Complete Farmer? Just let me raise my hand. Wow. This is like 0.5%. Never heard of Complete Farmer. So it means your target is those there, not us.
We target everyone. We want to make everyone a farmer. We want to say, okay, you can be a journalist, you can be an engineer, a doctor, and still have a farm and see whatever is going on, and not really be absent. And so that's basically the infrastructure that we
This is incredible. Put your hands together. This is awesome. Wow. If you're watching us on any of the social media platforms, this is for real. Complete Farmer, Desmond Kone, incredible stuff. Now, Alex, I want you to tell me a bit more about what you do, because I really don't understand it. So you tell me more about what you do, then I can ask you a sensible question, right? So tell me, because I'm told you do something to do with digital lottery.
In short, I'm an entrepreneur.
Okay.
Venture capitalist. So we invest in a lot of industries.
All right.
From the diaspora point of view, I have lived myself in the UK for 30 years.
All right.
And it was like, I never left. Throughout the period I was in the UK, we're doing business here, investing in the country. In terms of trade, we were financing a lot of companies here.
All right.
We were also financing a lot of projects.
Okay.
So basically what I've done in the last 4 years is to move my partners. Yes, obviously, I've been working with them in the UK and other markets, so we've just moved down.
Everybody here?
Yeah. So in terms of technology, we provide digital services for companies. One of the companies that we provide digital services for is the NLA.
Okay.
We do all their digital operations. We do some for the banks and that. So that's one aspect of the business. I also happen to be part of one of the largest agro companies in the world, Ecom Agro, which is the third largest cocoa company in the world. So in effect, with the diasporans, right, what we bring in with that expertise and that coming in with partners that we know there and investing in this economy, I would say that Kelly and Ken have also been instrumental in getting me down here. Because about 20 years ago, I used to come around and say, why don't you come and settle and that?
Wow.
So I've also been an advocate of diasporan investment, and I was at the forefront of initiating the Diaspora Homecoming Summit.
Super. So now I get it. So in the past, you were helping us get money, but now you've brought yourself and your people here.
Exactly.
Physically.
Exactly.
But that's a bigger risk, right?
I don't think so. Like I said, most of my colleagues were here. It was like I never left. About 5% of our business from the UK was done in Africa. Half of that, because of myself, was done in Ghana. Now with the financial muscle that we've got, and also the human capital that we've got, we've come to set up. It tends to be pretty easy when you have that sort of muscle, because I would say that in the last 4 years since we set up, I have a workforce of about 100. We were clear in our vision what we were going to do in Ghana. And it's always easy to say that when you have the financial muscle, like I said.
Is it easier working from Ghana? You're a global company.
Yes.
So you are based in London.
Yes.
And you've moved to Accra.
Yeah.
Pros and cons for your business. Faster internet, nicer people, lower salary. I mean, how does it work? Tell me.
I think that I'll take it from the diaspora point of view, and to agree with what Kelly said, right? In doing that, you have to understand the psyche of the diaspora, right? You also have to understand the sectors they want to invest in. I actually categorize it in 4 sectors, right?
Okay.
One of it was what Kelly mentioned. I look at diaspora, I look at diaspora and direct investment. I look at diaspora and portfolio investments. I look at remittances. I also look at diaspora and philanthropy. Because what Kelly was talking about was more diaspora and philanthropy, where we send money.
Hold on, sorry. DDI, DPI, remittances. I just want to go through. Diaspora and direct investment.
Diaspora and direct investment, diaspora and portfolio investment, remittances, and diaspora and philanthropy.
Distinguish the 4 for us in 1 minute.
Diaspora and philanthropy is where you send money home to my place, like Equiapim Mountains, where I send to churches and all that sort of thing, right?
Philanthropy.
Philanthropy.
Great.
Diaspora and direct investment, sometimes we don't differentiate between FDI and DDI.
All right.
So there's even more input that the diasporans put in, right?
Okay.
Which is classified as FDI,
Okay.
right? And there are diasporans who come in. Diasporans like myself do probably about 3 of the sectors. I was never remitting money. So when you look at the investment that comes in, I wasn't part of the remittances, but I was part of the diaspora and direct investment and diaspora and portfolio investment.
What's everything? Portfolio investment and direct
Portfolio investment is where you come in and invest in bonds, and that you sit in London and send money, invest in bonds and financial instruments. The direct investment is what we've done.
Physically.
Yeah. So.
Yofi, which one do we need more of? DDI or DPI? Diaspora and direct investment or diaspora portfolio investment? We need both. In what proportion? Utilization. Please give him a mic. I'll be jumping to him. Thank you for sharing. I really enjoyed what you've said so far. I wanted to ask a couple of quick questions to the panel, open questions, right? A lot of times when we ask, I'll come back to you. A lot of times when we talk about investment, people say, do we have the absorptive capacity? As in, are we ready for the type of money? Clearly, people want to come. They want to bring money. Have we put in, it's like somebody wants to bring a car or a train, but do you have the rails? All right? So Kelly and then Charles, I want to come to you. Because I've even heard before that World Bank, so much money to give to Ghana, so many projects. Sometimes the money goes back to chest. All right? Or somebody wants to invest, but the conditions are not just right. If you look at what we've done for the past few years, give me a little commentary about Ghana's readiness to utilize not just the money, but the people and the talent that is ready to come. I'll start with you.
Sure. Good question. Are we ready, and do we have the depth and absorptive capacity? I think the answer to that, the short answer is without a doubt. We really, and I've seen in the last 15 years, a real transition, and I think it's evident even by the activities within the fixed income, the amount of bonds we are able to issue, and the turnover in the economy. I think right now we're running about a 60 billion dollar GDP economy, and you have what you see if you look at various sectors, even in the agriculture sector. I was just watching a GIPC video about banana production farm. And when
Yes.
you look at the scale there, you realize that we really have the ability to scale up. And we can accommodate these kind of world-class, real huge scalable businesses because the export market is there. And so not only do you look at the internal consumption or the internal market, but you look at the West Africa market, and then you also look at the wider export market. And this certainly can be a sort of a window into the African market, especially on the back of the African Free Trade Act. And then that means that your addressable population then balloons to billions of people. And so I really have no doubt that we have the ability to really upscale. And this country has established a name for itself as a peaceful country where the laws work, where, the light is on 99.9% of the time. And so, you can get things done and you can scale up. And, people look for that in how they determine where to put their businesses. And I think one classic success story that I always look to is MTN and Space Phone. For the investors, I remember in the early 2000s, when it was so hard to raise money for Africa to start a mobile operator business. And when you look at the way they've grown and the amount of value they've created in the last 15, 20 years, culminating in a listing on the Ghanaian Stock Exchange, it shows you that really, the sky is the limit when it comes to private sector investment and where you can go from.
All right, this is a quick follow-up question. Listening to Desmond, agriculture needs patient capital. Typically, people see Ghana, Africa as a quick return, high risk, high return market. How do you balance the two, right? So you want patient capital, which will give you a longer time, not give you too much pressure, so you can grow sustainably. Yet people perceive Africa, South Sudan, people are going there with a lot of money because they know they will get multiples quicker. You are an investment banker. Explain to me how we can benefit from patient capital when those who are bringing the money are impatient, looking for quick return.
Yeah, no, I think it depends on which part of the value chain you want to go into. And really, it is a transition it's a principal versus agent issue.
All right.
Do you want to be an agent or you want to be a principal? If you want to be an agent, then it's almost like trade and retail and, buy and sell type opportunities. That's where you get a quick return. But you're not creating anything. You're not really, going up the value chain. And then you have the principal where you are an owner, you're investing in starting a proper business, putting in place the infrastructure. And those things take time. So you need that patient capital. But those are where you can actually move into the bigger ticket items and establish businesses that are sustainable and are here to stay.
Wow.
So really, as you transition up the value chain, I think more and more you need to move from the impatient capital to the patient capital to be able to do some of these really big projects. Real quick, if you look at, for example, your oil and gas sector, your gold mining sector. The other day I was talking about the fact that gold was discovered in South Africa, in Johannesburg, in, I think, 1896. It was discovered in Obuasi. I think Ashanti Gold was incorporated around the same time.
Yes.
If you look 100 years later and you see the impact gold has had on the
South African economy,
and you compare it to Obuasi or the wider Ghanaian economy, you ask yourself, what's the difference? The key difference is that South African gold was mined, developed by South Africans, and the money stayed in South Africa. Whereas that of Ghana was, it was Ghanaians who would get a concession, sell the concession without developing it to a foreigner. Foreigner comes in with a patient capital, does the investment, but takes all the proceeds out and the returns out. So that's the fundamental difference.
So the heart issue is still fundamental. We're going to yield to the audience for some questions. I just want to ask you a quick question, Kelly. When Ken was speaking, spoke about what you guys did 30 years ago with Data Bank. 30 years ago, there was nothing like Data Bank. There wasn't an industry. You guys built it. Honest to God, if you were starting Data Bank today, would you grow as quickly as you did? Would it be easier to set up? Think about it.
It's an easy one to answer. It's yes. I call Ghana, even after 30 years of my being here and 60-something years of independence, it's still very frontier.
Okay.
I have no question in my mind that there's going to come somebody or a group who will do so much better than Data Bank. There's no question in my mind that opportunities in the investment banking area, the opportunities in banking. I mean, there's nothing that thrilled me more than listening to Complete Farm and also WellCheck. Because those are the kind, that is exactly what we encountered when we were starting 30 years ago, where people were like, what? What are you, who? Because it didn't fit an existing mold. I remember the Euro Money magazine wrote an article on us back in the time, and they said Data Bank and these two young boys or men or whatever is ahead of its time or something. We captured that quote, and I always remember it because no one understood what we were trying to do, and yet 30 years after, $1 billion plus under management, I can't even tell you how many people have come through those doors and who have done so much more. So for me, yeah.
Fantastic. Please put your hands together for the panel. And thank you for your patience. We want to take some questions. Please, there are 2 standing mics. Your name, if it's to the specific person, let us know. If it's to the whole panel, we're happy to hear. Thank you, madam. Go ahead. The guys on the Zoom want to hear you as well, so we still need the mic. Thank you.
Yes, I'm Sherry Thompson. I'm usually called Mama Lou. That's toilet sanitation. Nice. But today I'd like to talk about remittances. Ever since I came to Ghana, and that's 25 years ago, yay!
Wow. Well done.
I'm the Jamaican that has come to stay. I've been receiving remittances ever since, I've been here because my ex decided to go ahead and stay there and send the money, and me raise the 3 kids. It worked out very well. Nice. Western Union has made a fortune in remittances to West Africa. Liberia, Sierra Leone, Ghana, you name it. MoneyGram probably made a fortune too. What did we do to ask them to contribute their quota to the societies that they have been sending money to at nice exorbitant prices? Now my son, when he feels the need, he sends Wave. And so, I was thanking Selim yesterday for Send Wave. Okay, but we need to figure out how these companies that have been part of the remittance structure can give back. Thank you.
Brilliant. Thank you so much, Mama Lou. Next. Thank you, sir.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Easton Reed, U.S. Embassy. I applaud the panelists for their bravery in stepping out into this space, and they've been handsomely rewarded. I'm encouraged as a diasporan myself. And as I interact with multinationals, I seek to bring a question to try and bridge the gap. The diasporans have a niche, and as companies build and grow, and then as they seek to become larger and multinational and create linkages, sometimes there may not be that necessary resilience or patience for the Ghana story. There are international standards of performance, of products. Even the AfCFTA is looking to have continental standards so that there can be agreements, intellectual property. How can we begin to bridge that gap? So the Ghana story is married with performance and along the lines of international standards so that Ghana can then leapfrog into the larger stage to make a global contribution.
Thank you for that question. Nicely, diplomatically put. Love it. Thank you so much. Is there any more, please? We want to take the questions in one sweep take so that we take the responses and we close. Yes, sir.
Hi, good morning. My name is Nee Simmons. I appreciate what the organizers heard this event, GIPC. Appreciate this, the people on the panel talking about this very important topic. So I created the World Bank's diaspora program back in 2015. I was the architect for the diaspora engagement program at that time. There was a predecessor back in the day. It was more policy focused. One of the things that we looked at is how different countries engage their diaspora in certain ways. Kagame or Rwanda does a really good job engaging their diaspora. Botswana too. Kenya has some efforts that are really interesting. Same thing with Ethiopia. Actually, Ethiopia built their dam using local and diaspora money. One of the things that I wanted to know is, I keep hearing about funding. How do you engage diaspora to finance projects? What are you guys doing to, ensure somebody who's making their money, who's coming in from Toronto, DC, or London, that their investments, not even their investments, what are you doing to engage with them to make sure that they're bringing their talents, their technical assistance, their mentorship, because that's very, very key, right? Ghana is not Israel. We're not Ireland. We're not India. We will be, but that all depends upon us. And we know the government can't do everything. I mean, I was born in the States. My parents are from Ghana. We can't expect local officials, investors, or local officials, politicians to do everything, but there needs to be some sort of assurances. Also, you just can't ask me to just bring in my money. You have to also look at me, bring my talents. There are a lot of Ghanaians in diaspora who have backgrounds in engineering, science. The National Cathedral is nice, but we have COVID. It would have been nice to have a life science park. I used to work at Johnson & Johnson. So many Ghanaians work at Johnson & Johnson, AstraZeneca. I worked there too, Merck. Can you imagine 5 years ago we would have built, instead of building a National Cathedral, we would have built a life science park. We could make our own vaccines.
Wow.
We don't have to worry about India. This is Wakanda. That's all I have to say. Thank you.
Thank you. Would you be free to share some of the documents with us on the panel? This is really good. I hope you're selecting who's answering. I appreciate the fact that some of these questions don't necessarily need an answer. They are helping us rethink the topic, so don't feel the urge to directly answer a question if you don't have a response. Some of these questions are insightful contributions as well. So please don't see this as just a question for an answer like teacher-student. We are learning from your questions as much. So thank you for sharing. I appreciate that. We'll take this gentleman, and then we'll end with you. Thank you.
All right, so good afternoon, everyone. Morning still, I guess. But first of all, I want to give great thanks to Mr. Yofi Grant. Introduced me to this platform back in 2018 with the Youth Summit that we had at Labadi. As a 20-year-old from the United States, my question is to the panel, is that how can we open up investment platforms for the youth here in Ghana, for those who have the funds to be able to get involved, just like how we have in the United States. I started trading when I was 18, investing in the U.S. Stock market. So for the Ghana market, how can we grow that by using the youth and impacting society by educating our youth, and even the Ghanaian youth in overseas, how can we get them to be able to invest in Ghana that way, invest with our smartphones or whatever? How can we get money into the Ghana stock market? That's my question.
The Ghanaian youth.
Right.
Thank you. All right. Brilliant question. Thank you. Last one. Yes.
All right. My name is Kofi Abuajintim. Listening to the Honorable Minister, I think he alluded to the fact that Johannesburg had gold almost at the same time that Ghana discovered its gold. What I'm getting from him is that it is not a matter of the resources that we have, but it's the resourcefulness of its people in executing the business that they discovered. And more, I think in addition to that, we have also heard the fact that we are getting a lot of remittances from overseas. But I checked an East African report that says that Africa as a continent received almost about $31 billion in 2017. But on the other hand, repatriation of capital and profit amounted to almost about 32 billion, which gave us a negative of 1 billion. What are we doing as a continent and as a nation to rectify this so that we will have a net positive in terms of the remittances and repatriation of capital from foreign investors? Thank you.
Thank you for your questions. We have just 5 minutes. Without seeking to allocate, I think the question on youth investment requires an answer. The question on Western Union MoneyGram as well. What are we doing to get them to give back? U.S. Embassy question, skills, standards. Neil Simmons' question on, I think that's what we've been trying to answer as well. You can touch on that. And then the issue of the flows. So whatever happens, you go last. So who's going to go first?
Can I will touch base on the international standards.
Yes, please.
Let me use my company, for example. There's been small-scale manufacturing in Ghana already, which is similar to what I'm doing in the compounding sector. What I'm doing different and is making sure that there's accreditation, number one. And most of my equipment that I use, we take to the Ghana Standard Board, Ghana Standard Authority to get it calibrated and checked off that it meets international standards. So those are some of the things that we are doing. And I feel like for diasporans coming in and setting up such businesses or industries, I think we know to do the right thing, and we do. And not just to do that, but also transfer that knowledge to and mentor the people that come to work at the locals or the people that we work with. And so as you know, we are moving forward and trying to set up these businesses, making sure that whatever knowledge, what we were doing there, we can come and cut corners because it's okay, because Ghana, there's no enforcer, and because Ghana, we can get away with so much. So I think for diasporans, and I can speak for myself, that we try to make sure that we are setting the standard and we're setting the standard on high. So making sure that accreditation and all of that are handled so that we can meet international standards.
Thank you. Alex?
Yeah, I think I'll take the gentleman's one on our approach to getting the diasporans to invest. He said we're not Israel, and we could be Israel, we could be Ireland. Sometimes our approach is a bit different. I believe that those of us here have been diasporans. Most of the diasporans I speak to, right, they want to share experiences like ours, how we came in. Like I said, I was motivated by the fact that Ken and Kelly came in and did it. A lot of people want to share those experiences. They want to know how we came in, the challenges and that. But we tend to have sort of like summits where we are told it's good to tell us about the policies and what government is doing and to bring us in. But there is sometimes skepticism on with some of these things, like mistrust between the locals and the diasporans. Like the minister said, the diasporans don't come in very humble. The locals think that, okay, they've come to take our jobs. There has to be clarity on what is being offered in the space, so that when we come in, we are clear that, look, we're preaching humility, and also the suspicion. When we invest in this country, most of the guys who have invested in the country will come up with stories. And I always come back and I tell you, when we go out, I also happen to be a board member of JIPC. The biggest and greatest advocate of diaspora inward investment is the diaspora.
Yeah.
When I worked, years that I worked in the UK, helping companies in Ghana get finance and that, it was through my personal effort telling my colleagues that Ghana is a good place to invest. So most of these diasporans, unless we are able to convince them, our effort of engaging them will become futile because they distrust, most of them distrust the system. There are no mechanisms put in place to protect their investment. So those are areas that I believe we've got to tackle first before we move on to even convincing them to come in. Yeah.
Fantastic. Thank you. Desmond.
Yeah. So I would say, first of all, the foremost capital that we need in Africa is sweat equity.
Sweat equity.
And that's because from most of the questions that came, how do we get Western Union to invest? They are not going to invest. I work in an industry where we import lots of fertilizers, we import all our machines, and none of this is being produced locally. We need that sweat equity to start producing this locally. Because the value chains that we work with are not value chains that a John Deere probably works with. The African agriculture market is a smallholder market. It's not exciting enough for a capitalist to want to invest in that. So if we want to have better systems, like better remittance systems, so even currently when I export produce, getting money from the export is very difficult because there are no digital solutions that can enable bulk payments into Africa. So we have to use escrow account and we have to pay commissions, fees for using escrow account in foreign countries. And so a lot of it is what we have to do. We have to basically build this infrastructure.
Have to build it.
Exactly.
Fantastic.
And so, and also things around standards and systems. Like, I think there is also this reality of what's on the ground and what's in the diaspora. And there has to be some sort of synergy that is built to meet the reality of what's here. So I think on the question on standards, it's between you and I. We can decide on a personal level, have that dialogue on how to move forward and set standards. We can't set standards ourselves to govern ourselves. That would have to come from the government. But if the government isn't doing that, then it's up to such matchmaking opportunities between the diaspora and people here on the ground to basically have that dialogue on how do we hack this system. And then we put in the sweat equity to then build a system. Before then, the government comes in.
Thank you.
As well.
Kelly, and then we'll end with Charles. Thank you.
So my comment would be on the investment and how do we get, whether they be younger, but investors from the diaspora to enter the Ghana. Now, the one word I'll say is digital. And I'm speaking specifically to the young man who has a question. There are, I think, in the last probably 7 to 10 years, we've seen an incredible increase in the use of digital methodology in business. I mean, the mobile money is probably the most topical one, but nothing warmed my heart more than Complete Farm.
Complete Farm.
So my thing about the question is that I am aware of several initiatives, including even cryptocurrencies, that are coming into our system. So you can either look at it as an opportunity for yourself, the gentleman who has a question, and see to what extent you can take advantage of it, or I can assure you that it's knocking on our doors already. These different ways of getting into different markets, it's coming already. We just need the last mile of, let's say, formal regulation and to give people the confidence to trade on.
And one of the purposes of this program is partnership. So if there's anybody here who has a platform that can engage with the questioner, I forget his name, is it Kofi? Kofi, right? So maybe there are people who already engage young people on a large scale. You could partner with them and start training them in this area. So that's why we do the coffee breaks. That's why we have the meeting rooms as well. So for those of you who've asked questions, make yourself visible. Maybe somebody wants to connect with you and then take the idea to the next level. Thank you. You have the final word, Charles.
Thank you. I think the gentleman really summarized it quite succinctly, that until we reverse so that the inflows exceed the outflows, we would always be out there with a bowl in hand begging. And to do that, I think we really need to reassess the whole financial architecture, which was based on a colonial system and a colonial mindset. I think for me, a classic example is the concept of concessions, just to give you one example. You know, concession made sense where the exploration risk was so high that you couldn't afford to do it yourself. So you bring somebody, you give him a 25-year concession. He then takes the risk, goes to raise the money, comes in, does the exploration, discovers whether it's gold, oil, or whatever, and then mines it and takes out the proceeds for the next 25 years. Now, we all know where the gold is. It's totally de-risked. There's no exploration risk anymore. So I have the asset. I know it's my asset. It's in my ground. I can easily value it. All I have to do is extract it. The technology to extract it is now commonplace. I'm sure I can even go on Amazon and buy myself a mine or whatever it is and, you know, hire the resources. So what exactly do I need to give somebody else a concession for? You know, I can raise the capital myself. I can, you know, hire the talent. I can get the equipment. I know the resources there. So, you know, we've moved into an era where those risks are no longer relevant and pertinent, but we are still using the financial architecture and agreements of the past. So that creates an uneven situation where we still end up being agents and not getting enough of the pie and a bigger equity stake. And we're just there, you know, collecting royalties and rents whilst, you know, somebody else is taking back the returns. You also see it in the cost of financing. I mean, when we go out to raise money, we are still paying what you call an Africa risk premium, 2, 3, 4, 5 percentage points. You look at Argentina and ourselves. Argentina, same B-rated country, has defaulted on its bonds before, but yet they managed to issue a 100-year bond and price it 2, 3 basis points cheaper than we do. You look at, you know, the COVID pandemic, and you see African countries and the response and how better managed we managed this COVID pandemic. Whereas you look in the West and countries have been ravaged, they've been so confused. But yeah, we're not giving any credit for our better management. We don't see it reflecting in our financing costs. We're still now having to buy these vaccines at astronomical prices because people are looking at it as a profit margin. So we're not really, we don't have a seat at the table to be able to access funding at much cheaper rates. And so we are sort of almost in a vicious cycle where, you know, you make a return and it goes to service your debt because you're borrowing at 10% while somebody's borrowing at less than 1%. And until we reconfigure this whole global financial architecture, we will always be at a disadvantage, and that's what we need to do.
Fantastic. And that's why we are here, to change that, right? And hopefully with the ideas coming through, the connections, that will change. Put your hands together for the panel. As we welcome our smooth and excellent MC, Jerry, please welcome a round of applause. Thank you very much, Jerry. Okay, a group photograph.
And a round of applause for Bernard and his amazing panel. Whoa, haven't they teased us? Complete Farm, Well Check, and these are the discoveries on the panel. I tell you what, when we come back from the break, you're going to see and witness for yourselves amazing possibilities that are present right here in Ghana. We're going to see them through the lenses of Mr. Kwesi Agyeman, CEO of Ghana Tourism Authority. He will walk us through the resurgence of Ghana's travel and tourism industry, rallying sustainable investments from the diaspora. There we would engage him, Bernard will engage him on the bankable projects that are present. Ms. Juliana Santi will also join us with a presentation on projects in film and the arts industry. But ladies and gentlemen, you don't want to miss the agribusiness and agro-processing industry's perspectives. We would also have some bankable projects in that field. Now, talking about diasporans who come here and do novel things, as alluded to by our friend, Mr. Kelly Gajapo, I have something for you to see. Ladies and gentlemen, behold this amazing feat by a Ghanaian who settled in Ghana from Ohio. A look.
American Rejuvenation Clinic is a male's clinic specifically for preventative medicine. We focus on anti-aging and also general men's health care. When it comes to anti-aging, we do offer hormonal replacement therapy. That is our specialty here. So that encompasses low testosterone or any estrogen or hormonal imbalances. And those also we treat secondary disorders, diabetes, any just generalized medical. We do not do surgeries or any type of inpatient treatments. This is an outpatient facility. American Rejuvenation, we're at our incubation period now. We had just started, we opened our doors up to the public in February of 2021. So now we're growing and we're trying to get the word out to everyone.
So far, we've seen about, let's say, 500 patients, and our attendance and the response to the clinic has been phenomenal.
So coming here, part of the year return, it really opened my eyes to see the possibilities in healthcare here in Ghana. And my dream has always been to open a facility in Ghana regarding health. Not necessarily men's health, but I've seen that there was a niche for the men's healthcare market. First time coming to Ghana was purely for tourism, and that was about 5 years ago. The year of return in particular, when it came to me and a few of our directors, it really sparked a light underneath us. We've seen a lot of businesses, a lot of energy here in Ghana, and it really inspired us to get started here as a company. The mortality rate in Ghana right now currently is suffering. The men are living shorter periods of life, and this is compared also to their counterparts. Women are living longer lifespans, so we decided to focus in on men's health care. And also, as far as hormonal replacement therapy, we are bringing those expertise from the United States, which is not something that's been well publicized here in Ghana.
We have male hormonal problems, especially testosterone levels dropping. We have stuff like prostate enlargement as men age and get to the age of 40 and above. People even have erectile dysfunction. We try to solve that. Male reproduction and other general conditions.
We started off with a small team of maybe about 8 individuals. Now that's grown up to 20 plus employees, and we plan on scaling up even more. We would love to be able to franchise and start to expand and employ more people. We thought it was very important to hire Ghanaian staff and not export people from the United States to come and fill jobs that we know Ghanaians are qualified to do.
The clinic has embarked on several outreach programs, including the visit to the East Legon Executive Fitness Club, the Achimota Fitness Club, and then the Soman Fitness Club. We're able to pick patients with problems just following up, and they've been very satisfied with most of the advice and the treatment that we've offered them so far.
I originated out of Columbus, Ohio, in the United States. I am a diasporan now. I hope to stay in Ghana long-term period. Ghana is night and day from the U.S. I really feel the energy here, and this is where I want to call my home. The energy that I felt from Ghana was different from any other West African country that I've been to. I felt more welcome here. The people felt a lot more friendly, and I've seen even just from business connections, things seem to move a lot smoother here. I'm not going to make up things and say that everything is smooth, but the benefits far outweigh the negatives. As far as competition, there's a lot of room for someone to come in and start a new business or an idea that has not yet surfaced. Have somebody with a business mind. This is an opportunity to fix the problems with businesses to put in place to fix those issues. This is to all the diaspora community all across the world. Ghana is a place for business growth. It's a place to bring your new business here. I'm calling everyone to grow in Ghana and grow with Ghana.
Rejuvenation Clinic, Uncle Yof, you won't believe. I've had about 14 messages in the course of this short video. Boys want to know. Hey. Somebody sent me, Jerry, can I meet him privately? Well, you can. There is a stand outside, and so we encourage as many as can to please proceed there. We'll treat you privately. Nobody will know. But ladies and gentlemen, a lot of interactions on the platform. I have good news. Yesterday, our entire audience online reached a whopping 25,000. How about a round of applause? Even our stadium, I don't think can contain that. And so we're making headway. Today, we're reaching a little above 2,500 because the world is waking up. But I believe as we progress in our interaction, the whole world will catch up with us. For 15 minutes, we shall go out for coffee, cocoa, and whatever. We shall reconvene here and begin the other part of the interaction. Bon appetit. I'll see you shortly.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Noah Minya Jr. I represent Alpha Ghana Limited. What you see before you today is our golden pot brand of cocoa products. So we have the raw unsweetened natural powder, and this has no milk and no sugar, and it's very healthy. We also have the chocolate drink. We have the 250-gram version and the 400-gram version, which has milk and sugar. These have low sugar and are non-malted, so it's good for all people of all ages. Our office is located in Sakumono, behind the Fridays restaurant. And you can contact us on 055-967-9944.
Hi, my name is Edward, and I'm from the KGL Group.
Plus company we started nearly 2 decades back. We are into the steel manufacturing and trading house. Today we are very proud to say that BFAP Plus has become a net exporter to whole West African countries. So not only we serve Ghana, but we also export to 15 West African countries. We are producing nails, binding wire, wire mesh, galvanized mesh, square pipes, Z profiles, steel plates, roofing sheet, iron rods. These are all products we are producing here. Recently, BFAP Plus put up the smelting plant. So at present, we are also producing rebars from scrap that is PS 4449 grades and different grades. Under 1D1F, under His Excellency Nana Akufo-Addo, we have opened West Africa's biggest fabrication plant, that is in La Pleku, where we are producing any type of fabrication where you talk about shades, different types. We can make the residential buildings, tankers, storage facility, anything you name it, we can produce that one there. And we are very proud to say that currently whatever BFAP Plus has produced in the last couple of months under 1D1F, we have been receiving very high report of that. The quality and the service what we have provided that it is really commendable. And at the same time, BFAP Plus has also come up with a melting unit, biggest melting unit. At present, we have already started since last October, and very soon we are going to commission the rolling mill as well. Ghana Club 100 Award, we have been recipients for the last couple of years. And as per GIPC ranking in the industrial, we are always number 1 and 2. In the steel, we are number 1. So that has gone a quite positive way. And whenever you receive any award from a reputed institution like GIPC, that gives an additional edge, and when you are dealing with your other counterparties. And at the same time, it also keeps you on the toes to make sure that you should keep doing the good work what you're doing. And so far, the processing and working with GIPC has been really great. BFAP Plus currently employs more than 10,000 people directly, indirectly. Beside that, we have more than 1,000 distribution network. At present, BFAP Plus is having 12 branches across Ghana in different regions. Today, BFAP Plus is serving housing industry, to the oil and gas industry, to the mining industry, to clients of corporates like who are into the residential projects, and fabricators, and a lot more. We are the promoters of DPSI International School in Community 25. We like to give a free education to the children. We keep on doing the free medical camps, eye camps, support the sports activity, and a lot more. I think the Ghanaian consumers, they are the smart consumers. What they believe in, the quality product at the right price, and the service. If you give them the box of everything, and BFAP Plus is one-stop shop for steel. So you name it, we have it. Ghana is like a second home. I was 32 years in Africa and spent 26 years in Ghana. So say when my children are born here and we love to do business here, it is the people who really make a big difference. Geographically, location, if you really look at it, is an ideal location to operate from here to the other West African countries. And there are ample of opportunities. The first thing somebody should say that when it comes to the quality of steel and the pricing, it is the BFAP Plus. And at the same time, we also want to be known for our CSR activities. BFAP Plus not only produces the quality steel, but they also produce the quality leaders for tomorrow. I would like to take this opportunity for all my dear friends inside and outside Ghana, that they should take an opportunity to come and invest in Ghana, associate with a company like BFAP Plus, grow with it. Join us, let's grow in Ghana and grow with Ghana.
Bromsey Portfolio is a wholly owned Ghanaian company, and we are focused on the production and conversion of paper products such as toilet rolls, kitchen towels, mixed-use paper products, facial towels, amongst other paper products. Bromsey Portfolio Limited started construction in 2016 and were formally commissioned in 2019. We are fully operational now, and we are starting to produce significant numbers, and we are gaining traction on the Ghanaian market. And we are actually looking to export some of our products to the neighboring countries as well. Currently, we have an in-house management team of about 20, and our technicians and producers total of about 65. And we are currently producing our products in the Insawan Medium Security Prison, where we are literally training inmates and reforming them. And we currently encourage them to be fully reintegrated once they leave and complete their prison sentences. We have a few of them who have actually completed the sentences, and we have given them finished products. And once they leave the prison walls, they're able to start their own retail business. And this avoids them 100% from reoffending.
Miba Insawan Medium Security Prison 2003. Miba hano. If you mienu ni na miba miti say aban the one district one factory eba Insawan prisons ha. Ema eye mi de yie pa ma me de me hu be shemu. Sese minim se na omu operating machine. Ama nyame ye madom na kosi abonten a. Company bi kra po a met me dim ho akɔhye mu because sese mabanya nsa no adwuma wɔ prison ha a ebeboa me da achen bi. Nti me da aban ase.
We initially started off with about 115 inmates. We had batches of 25 inmates working every day on different sections and different shifts. We actually encouraged them to learn the trade. We trained them on the maintenance of the equipment, and we trained them on the business aspect of the finished product sales as well. We currently have trained over 600 inmates. We have a few of them that have actually completed their sentences and are out there with products and are selling. We actually offer 30% profit of our sales to the Ghana Prison Service. This 30% helps to augment the shortfalls within the Ghana Prison Service to encourage them to rehabilitate their facilities and make the prison a more humane facility for people. We sell reasonably lower than the other commercial retail brands out there. Bromsey Portfolio produces 100% virgin, 100% white, soft tissues. We are currently importing our products from Egypt, and as we are speaking now, we are looking at the next transition of producing these raw materials locally once we gain the market share in the sector. With the support of the Ghana Investment Promotion Center, we've been able to gain a lot of market share. We have, through this Ghana Investment Promotion Center, had a lot of calls from countries outside of Ghana who are interested in our products. This has really given us a wide range of market share, and we are grateful for that. So far, we've had a very good electricity, run through. We haven't had a lot of cut-outs. We've had unlimited human resource. The roads are generally getting better, so we're able to move our logistics across the regions. So far, Ghana is really opening up, and there's good growth for business opportunity here. We heard about the One District, One Factory initiative, and looking at the incentive packages that they were offering, we could not resist but to be part of it. And we have received enormous support from the One District, One Factory. They have been following up with us throughout the processes. They have helped us with a lot of policy, navigation, and so far, through the One District, One Factory, we have gotten a lot of market share, and everybody seems to understand what our main objectives are. So One District, One Factory has been a very positive influence in the industrial sector in Ghana, and we encourage people to follow through because this is one of the channels that we startup industries can actually gain a lot of traction in the market. And I'd like to encourage investors that Ghana is the place to invest in. So partner with us, so together we can grow in Ghana and grow with Ghana.
Casa Europa is an agro-processing, a wholly owned Ghanaian company. What we are doing currently is to process sweet potato into what we call the value-added bread and pastries. We have 9 different products as of now, which we have commercialized and we are selling. We have what we call the sweet potato crisps, which is the raw sweet potato that has been sliced and actually fried. Sweet potato chips, which is a big processed sweet potato flour. The sweet potato bread. We have the sweet potato burger. We do the sweet potato pizza. We also do croissant, which is the French type of bread, but it's lighter than the normal bread. And then we have other pastries. We are able to do the sweet potato cupcakes. We are able to do the ring donut, the bull fruit, and all other pastries which you can use wholly flour to do. The latest that we have introduced is what we call the sweet potato fries, which is equivalent to the famous French fries as we know. We have been able to establish our farm. We have our dams. We have almost 10 farms which are all developed completely. We are producing. And we are also processing. We are at the stage of adding to the sales points in terms of restaurants. For example, the University of Cape Coast Center is a big center we built. What we are trying to do is to try and get what we call affordable food for the student. We are also continuously setting up restaurants in each of the tertiary institutions, but that is where our business will end. Our main selling point is processing food without refined sugar. It's a game changer for the Ghanaian economy. Once we use the sweet potato as a substitute in any of the products that we are developing, we are creating opportunity for a Ghanaian farmer, for a Ghanaian business person to go into the production of sweet potato. We can also talk about health, because in most of our products, the sweet potato dominates, and it has vitamin A and B6 as well. In future, we're looking to industrialize by way of doing our own sweet potato noodles, sweet potato baby food, sweet potato flour, and others. We work with about 359 farmers in 2020. We are hoping that by 2022-2025, we should be working with thousands of farmers rather than hundreds of farmers. There is a scheme Casa Europa have called the In-Grower Scheme. We have our own farm, we prepare with our own machinery, and allow these farmers to grow on it. We purchase their product and give them the income, and then we also employ them. Casa Europa is a 90% women employer. Of the 154 workforce, 90% are women, and that's our focus.
But your time and if you never engage me by member than bed, you Casa Europa, and you and I brom or Mancasama Brabo. Member started the me, you Casa Europa, and I want me to message Vista. Federation member, no, my family.
Yes, you know, you want to Mancasa. I send the best man for man and Indiana show. Or do I would declare for into one face camera. No, what you want, Casa. I ain't started you made it. Was someone else? What
we will say about the 1D1F is that we support it. It's an attempt to industrialize Ghana. It's an attempt to create jobs, because the 154 workers mostly are from this community. These people would not have been here, or they would not have had opportunity to earn income if Casa Europa were not here. Casa Europa will be thankful to the President of the Republic of Ghana, His Excellency Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, for 2 reasons. One, he came to a farm, not a factory at that time, and he was excited what we could use the sweet potato and gave us a thumbs up. We remember a week after his visit, Casa Europa received up to 130,000 views in our website. And that alone was a game changer. So to us, it is the President of the Republic of Ghana that made Casa Europa a worldwide company.
Beneath the deep blue sky, the black star is calling. Follow the stars and let them take you on a journey of our people.
UseBet was established in 1998 as a hospitality enterprise business that is mainly into hospitality services. So, but over the years, we've been able to look at the conferencing and meetings aspect of the industry. So now when you are talking of the best conference destinations in Ghana here in terms of hosting, you can't leave UseBet out. What we have tried to do is to build a business that is continually growing. So we've never saturated. We'll get to the growth stage of the business and then get into maturity, we continue to build other businesses. So when the business started as a hotel, right now we've been able to build a farm, we've been able to build Ghana's second international conference center right in Sunyani. We've been able to build a fuel station business, all out of the business. There are certain organizations that until UseBet Hotel came in, they never held their programs in a hotel before. You look at the Ghana Bar Association, you look at the Pharmaceutical Society of Ghana. Because these groups come with large numbers, 2,000, 3,000, and normally you don't have a hotel in Ghana that is able to have a venue to be able to host these people. But with UseBet, these organizations have been able to get the opportunity of hosting their programs in a hotel. Our relationship with GIPC started somewhere in 2005. That was when the then government came up with the LI 1817, where hotels were getting exemptions for improvements into their activities in terms of development, in terms of growth, in terms of building new hotels, expanding. And we took advantage. I think we were amongst the very first batch of hotels to take advantage of that opportunity. And it became a big thing for us. If UseBet is at where it is today, GIPC played a critical role in making UseBet what it is now. Hitherto, not much activities will bring people to the region. If some of these people come for conferences and they are leaving, usually, they feel like we come to BA, we must go with something to show that we've come from BA. So plantain, yam, cassava, and all those things. And these have direct impact on the local economy within the regions where the hotel is established. Currently, UseBet, we are employing 150 people directly. And these are permanent employees of the hotel. That is aside the casuals that we bring in and the other sister businesses we'll bring in. I think we always say that we are the most decorated hotel as far as the Ghana Tourism Authority awards are concerned, with 14 different awards within the industry. We have won the CIMG Hospitality Facility of the Year. So when you look at our mission and vision statement, it's clearly stated that we shall be established as the leading hospitality facility that is indigenous in nature, indigenous in terms of management, indigenous in terms of ownership. So owned by Ghanaians, run by Ghanaians. And want to make a case that, look, Ghanaians are able to open up businesses, let the business grow and become big. For instance, we started with just 16 rooms in 1998. As we see it now, we are having 150 rooms. In a few months' time, we are increasing this one to 190 rooms. So, and we are moving the hotel from 3-star.
So Nech Cocoa is a cocoa processing facility
We process cocoa into 4 semi-finished products: cocoa liquor, cocoa cake, cocoa powder, cocoa butter. And we have the finished products, which is the chocolates. So for the semi-finished products, I would say that niche is fully grown. For the processing 90,000 metric tons of beans, which is equivalent to about 10% of Ghana's cocoa. So we are fully grown. For the finished products part, we are currently just doing the chocolate, but by the end of second quarter, we are hoping to roll out other products onto the market, being the chocolate spread, the RTDs, the ready to drink, and also the 3-in-1 cocoa powder. For a plant that was established with a staff strength of about 60 to its current staff strength of 600, over the time we've grown, we've created employment. That is direct labor. For indirect labor, we have over 1,000 people also. So in total, you're talking about 1,600 direct and indirect labor.
At Niche Cocoa, we employed over 600 workforce, and we are wholly Ghanaian employees here. And our workers mostly comes from the environment of Tema and Ashiama.
We also bring a lot of foreign exchange to the economy with a processing facility that is exporting almost 90% of its produce. We are one of the key foreign exchange earners for the country.
Niche Cocoa, having employed over 600 workforce, it means it has a lot of impact on the Ghanaian economy, having a lot of families depending on this 600 workforce.
Niche Cocoa is a facility that is built in Ghana, producing cocoa. So Niche Cocoa, our competitive advantage is that we are having raw material from Ghana, producing our major raw material and also exporting. So our competitive advantage in the international market is an origin country. Niche Cocoa being a free zone company, whereby we are exempted from taxes and duties for our equipment and other facilities. That gives us the opportunity to also expand. Now, with our relationship with GIPC, which is the Ghana Investment Promotion Center, whereby we are open up into the international market. You have investors who are looking for our produce, and through the GIPC, we are contacted and we are also able to enter emerging markets. To us, it has been an advantage, and we have been able to enter markets that we didn't assume we could. Markets like the Western world, the European market, and the Asian market, which are major consumers of our semi-finished products. We are hoping to use the relationship also to sell consumer products to the African market with the AfCFTA coming up. With the business-friendly environment provided by GIPC and also with the free zone concept, Niche Cocoa has grown from an 8,000 metric ton facility to a 90,000 metric ton facility. That has even pushed us into the Ghana Club 100, whereby we've won 3 awards consecutively. And to us, that's a big achievement. Government have been able to provide such an industrial enclave, and that has been one key factor. Power is available 99% of the time. That makes doing business very, very comfortable for us. And also our proximity to the port. It's just about 15 minutes drive, producing one product and sending it to the port for export. Niche Cocoa Industries Limited is an attestation of doing business in Ghana. The business environment in Ghana is at its best time. And we are calling on other investors.
Finance, I beg your pardon, together with the Secretary General of AfCFTA. What they've bequeathed to us now is a showcase of numerous possibilities from various sectors, ranging from tourism to agribusiness, and ladies and gentlemen, some other aspects in film and the arts. For the next few minutes, I ask that we take our seats as we take a video to showcase the first possibility in the tourism industry. Enjoy.
Beneath the deep blue sky, the black star is calling. Follow the stars and let them take you on a journey of our people. The country where the sun shines on all 365 days of the year. Capturing the stories of our kings and queens above. Experience of our castles and forts built on the sweat of a people full of dignity. I am Nana Addo Akufo-Addo, and I'm the proud president of the country at the center of the world, Ghana.
Thank you very much, Jerry. Good afternoon, distinguished ladies and gentlemen. Good afternoon. Okay, I'll go. You know, we're from tourism, we're about entertainment, and we're about fun. So this afternoon, I believe, although this shift is the graveyard shift, we'll try and make it fun for all of us. I'm excited about this summit, because that's how we can build our industry back. So when we talk about resurgence, it's about we gathering again. It's about summits like this, conferences like this, meeting together so that the entire value chain, hotels, the catering services, everybody, event organizers, event vendors, and everybody gets a bit of the pie. And so to Yofi, and the team at GIPC, we thank you very much for putting this together. Thank you very much. My topic is about resurgence, but like I said, we are about fun. So I'll start with a little trivia to see how well you all know Ghana. So we have some goodies here. I'll invite my colleague, Annabelle Mackenzie, who herself is also a returnee. Annabelle, please join me here. So the first question, if you know the answer, just raise your hand and then answer and then you win. Very simple. No tricks, no juju. Where is Braku Rock located? Okay, this one is to Yofi. Okay. Oh, first one. Let's do first one first, please. Okay. So, yes, you. All right. Kwau. Okay. Any more guesses? All right. So you have it, Kwau. Yes. Yes. So please come up for your prize. Very simple, straight to the point. All right. So Cecilia has won herself a sash, an Experience Ghana t-shirt, and then also a free ride on our city tour bus at a time of her convenience. So yes, thank you very much. The second one, oh, this is very simple. Okay, today is a ladies' day. So, yes. Okay, you go. Yeah. So which one is this? You haven't answered. C. All right. She's returned, yes. All right. And then the final one. Okay, this one is a bit... Which region is Kintampo Waterfall located? Okay, you do this. They've changed the region, so be careful. It's not that easy. All right, Kintampo. Okay. Bruno East, please come. He said he guessed, so somebody said wrong half. Anyway, so it's all part of what tourism is about. We have fun. We try and keep each other informed and educated. I'll just start with the sector composition. When we talk about Ghana's tourism sector, this is the composition of the sector. We have our ministry, which has oversight, responsibility over 11 agencies. So the Ghana Tourism Authority is one of the agencies. I see my sister here, who is the Executive Secretary of the National Film Authority. That's also Juliet Asante, Yasantua, as they call her. That's also another agency under the ministry. We have the Ghana Museums and Monuments Board, Kwame Nkrumah Memorial Park, National Theatre, National Commission on Culture, Creative Arts Council, soon to be Creative Arts Agency, the Folklore Board. All these are part of the agencies under the ministry. In terms of regulation, we, as the Tourism Authority, regulate the industry. And then also we have the Ghana Tourism Development Company, which is a limited liability company under the ministry, looking at investments, investment promotion, working together with ourselves. And then also we have the Tourism Federation, which is GATOF. There we have about 25 different associations. So you have the car rentals associations, the Ghana Hotels Association, Informal Caterers Association, Drinking Bar Operators Association. That's an interesting one. Chefs Association, and the rest. So 25 of them. And these associations really help to bring the private sector to the table with us as public sector operators. So in terms of background and context, our industry has really suffered. I mean, globally, the tourism sector has suffered the most when it comes to COVID. International arrivals globally dropped about 74%. Destinations worldwide went through some lockdown, so we had about 1 billion fewer arrivals. In Ghana, we've been equally impacted. 2019, which was one of our biggest years, we ended the year with about 1.13 million arrivals. Fast forward to 2020, it dropped to 355,000. That is about a 70% drop. So just look at the numbers. About 700,000 people more didn't turn up. And so hotels lost business, car rentals lost business, business people lost business. And so we are trying to look at how we build back our industry. Despite the ease on restrictions and a few other things that are happening, people are still very uncertain about the future. Because even as we try to open up, you hear of another wave somewhere, and then we have to close down again. But despite the dip, we are very positive that we will have a strong rebound very soon. And the rebound is going to be built on 4 key areas. One is the increased focus on domestic tourism and regional tourism. Even when we were doing the year of return with all the noise about diasporans coming in, and indeed, people did come. We just saw a video of a business that had been established out of somebody coming here for the year of return and seeing the opportunity. We still had Nigeria as a very big market for us, and so regional tourism is going to play out big for us in terms of strategy going forward. Digitization. I mean, one of the things that prior to COVID we saw was that our industry was too manual, if I should put it that way. A lot of our operators still operate in the manual setting. So you go to a hotel room, most hotels didn't even have websites. They don't have any platforms that people could book. And so you had instances where a lot of people are coming in, going through Airbnb and booking facilities, and your traditional hotel owner will complain that, why am I not getting the business? The business is out there on some digital platform, and that's where we need to be. New markets is also going to be a key driver. What we are doing is to try and position Ghana as a MICE destination. And MICE is meetings, incentives, conferences, and exhibitions. And so we're working with other partners to see how we can position Ghana as a destination for big conferences, for big meetings, big exhibitions, and big fairs. And that offers opportunity for investors to look at that sector. So whether you are an event organizer, whether you have an idea of an event, whether you want to build conference centers, that is really where we are going, and you need to meet us at that point. And then finally, beyond the return, last week, His Excellency the President set up the new steering committee for Beyond the Return. And Beyond the Return is a 10-year project following the year of return. And it is to build an African renaissance. And so what we are doing is to now look at ways that we can deepen our collaboration and our engagement with our diaspora. And so things like the e-visa, things like the Homeland Return Act that the Minister of Finance talked about are things that are in the works to make sure that we ease the pathway for people wanting to come to Ghana and for our diaspora to really have a soft landing when they come. So let's look at the dip in numbers, just to put things in context. How low we went. I mean, for example, if you look at hotel occupancy rate, 2019 we're doing within the 5-star category around 66%. This dropped to about 31%. Arrivals, and these are the figures. So for example, when in 2019 we're doing averagely around 80-something thousand, we've gotten to a point where now we are doing about 35,000. That has implications, but it also, we know that after every pandemic, there is a resurgence. And I believe that once we position ourselves well and really touch the right buttons, we'll be ready to welcome the world back to Ghana and by so doing, offer the opportunity for investors who want to invest in the sector. So our strategic objectives, looking at what we are trying to do, in terms of international arrivals, we had ended at 1.1 somewhere in 2019. We believe that by 2024, we should move back to about 1.5. How are we going to do that? We're looking at regional tourism as a key driver. Nigeria is a big market for us. Domestic tourism, move the numbers. That has also gone down from about 649,000 in 2019 to 220,000. But recently, we just launched our Experience Ghana, Share Ghana campaign, which is doing very, very well. And I believe that we can go back to 1 million by 2024. And in terms of employment, provide direct and indirect employment to about 1 million people by 2024. Currently, we are around 600,000. So the critical pathways to this success is one, product development. And to be able to develop the product, we need to engage with private sector, we need to engage with investors to be able to improve the quality of our tourism assets. Already we've seen some major push in terms of tourism investment. If you go to Edukrom, for example, Safari Valley is one of them. If you go to the Adan area, a lot of new investments are going into that area. Partnerships, we want to build a strong sector-wide partnerships model with the private sector. People development, capacity building. So for example, those who are interested in training, that is also another opportunity for you because we want to improve upon the manpower base of the industry, build capacity of our operators. People say when you go to Ghana, the hotels are nice, the people are nice, but sometimes the service may not be as nice. And so we want to, that offers opportunity for people who have the ability to offer training facilities. And also we want to have an efficient regulatory management process. That is the work that we do. But in terms of quality assurance, there are a lot of digital opportunities in there, and then marketing and promotion, and then also working with public sector agencies like the GIPC, improve the sector business attractiveness. So we are now currently working with the Ministry of Finance to try and harmonize some of the taxes, harmonize some of the regulatory work that we do. For example, between ourselves, the Food and Drugs Authority, and the Environmental Protection Agency, we're looking at ways that we can harmonize our work so that you don't have people coming in and sometimes you feel like you are being harassed. Next, please. So our key benchmarks, I'll run through this quickly: marketing and events, technology and ICT benchmarks. Like I indicated, ICT and digitization is a key opportunity for the sector in terms of how we are looking at a resurgence in our industry. And so platforms for booking, platforms to engage, platforms for feedback are all platforms that do not exist or do not exist in the way that probably will make business sense. But there are best cases that we can learn from, and I believe that those who are interested in the digital side of the business, this is about the time, because that is where the business is moving to. Today we just saw ahead about complete farms, so probably we have complete tourism also coming, where on our own we can look at how we build digitally. I mean, e-visa is one of the areas that we are looking at, and also the whole value chain of tourism and travel needs to move digital. And so if you're here, you're interested in that, this is the opportunity for you. So we're looking at standards and quality assurance, people development, I talked about that, product development and investment. We have an array of almost ready to go projects that we feel it's about time we share with the industry and we share with the world. Some of them are very interesting, and I know that Juliet Yasantua will talk about what she's doing in film. Same thing is happening in music, same thing is happening in some of our cultural events and the rest. And so this is really the right time to be here and to be part of this resurgence that is going to come very soon. So the target markets that we are looking at in terms of arrivals, and also we feel that people come in first, maybe not to look for investments, but once they come, they see an opportunity. USA, 400 years was really looking at the arrival in Jamestown, Virginia, but it also cut across the Caribbean, the United Kingdom, and other African countries. So the key target markets there, we have the heritage and social diaspora, and people who are coming to Ghana just to reconnect with their roots and experience the social life that we have. And people like that may come and come and come and come. But then they also will see the investment opportunities that exist. Then you have the investment diaspora, people who are here just to look at investments. And I think today we have some in the audience. And over the last few months, we've seen a steady flow of people coming in and asking, what are the opportunities? Show me where the money is, and I'll go. Then the lifestyle repatriates, people who are here wanting to move permanently, like Annabelle, my colleague, where she's disappeared. She's moved to Ghana, and now she's Ghanaian. She has a baby called Kweku Return because the baby was born during the year of return. So people like that are coming in and starting businesses. We've seen that happening a lot, especially when it comes to our restaurants, hotels, our guest houses. You find that a lot of our diaspora own these places. Then the retirement repatriates people who have lived outside, want to retire back to the homeland. This is a place for you. And they come in and they realize that there are opportunities. And eventually, we're also looking at the third generation, second to third generation Ghanaians, what I call the Balotellis of the world, who probably have parents who are Ghanaian or grandparents who are Ghanaian, but they feel that they have a connection to the motherland and they want to come. In terms of tourism resources and the assets that are available, our culture is there. So the traditions, what we are trying to do is to find ways that our festivals and our cultural assets we put together in a holistic investment package. So for some of our festivals, for example, they are looking for partnerships for event organizers, partnerships to put it out on the map globally, partnerships to make sure that it's organized well, and partnerships for digital promotion. And I think that's another opportunity. Heritage, our various forts and castles. What we are doing is to look within the enclaves that we have, these forts and castles. What are some of the things that we can put out there? A few years ago, our former minister announced the Akwaba Hotel model. And it was principally to say these forts and castles and other tourist sites and attractions are available. But we see a lot of in and out visitations. People go there and there are no decent accommodation facilities around the area. So people go and they want out. But if we can put eateries around it, we can put guest houses around it, we can put hotels around these areas, then it makes sense for people to go and stay. And through that, economic activity within our communities will also improve. Then we have the leisure side of things, our beachfront properties, the adventure side also with our virgin tropical rainforest. And so we've seen some concessions being given out to private sector operators. If you go to Mole, for example, there's a Zena Lodge, which is a beautiful place, out on concession to a private developer. I know Kakum, the Forestry Commission is looking at Kakum, and then also Ankasa in the Western region. All these provide unique settings for some form of tourist facilities. Then the fun part of things, and then eventually also others like our events, film, and like I said, Yas and Toa will be talking about film today, so I'll leave that, and then music. So in terms of the tourism investment opportunities, I think you can see I've mentioned almost all of them, but I believe MICE is a key thing, and then digitization. The rest, green building and green technology is also coming up. People want experiential tourism. They want to go out there and feel part of what is happening. And then what sort of investors are we looking out for? The strategic investors, people who want to acquire some of these properties and be part of the management of it. We have the construction investors, people who probably can build, and then also financial investors, people who are looking for dividends and returns. So Alex and Kelly will be coming to you because we know you are investors. Next, please. So the models for investment, I think I'll just share with you about 3 projects that we have currently on the table. The first one is the Marine Drive Tourism Investment Project. Very close to us. It's about 241 acres of land. That eventually will be the single largest tourism investment project to be initiated by the government since independence. It started somewhere in the 60s with the executive instrument, first one, but then later it became an enclave for ministries and departments and agencies. When His Excellency Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo assumed office, he followed through with the new EI that had been initiated in 2016. And so currently, if you go to site, you've seen a lot of the ministries have been moved from site to Ghana House. The land is virtually bare now. People have asked, what is happening to the Marine Drive? It's still in the works. As they say, proper planning prevents poor performance. And so a lot of these things, the investors will tell you, happens in the boardroom before you go out there to build. So the land has been cleared. A lot of the due diligence on investors is being done currently. We are moving the arts center from there. That's become one of the key bottlenecks. We need to relocate the arts center first and bring them back. So if you go to Kawukudi now, a new arts center is being built to house the arts center there so that now the whole land becomes bare as a construction zone. And that's the reason why there have been a few delays. Now you have the Winneba also destination project. That is also a project we are doing in close collaboration with the Wildlife Division of the Forestry Commission. It's a Ramsar site, but what we are looking to do is to do an ecotourism friendly site. So if you look at the picture, This is a concept of what we are looking to do. There we are looking at a film backlot and studio annex, possibly working with the NFA and also other key investors. It's about 1,000 acres of land. And so there are possibilities for medical tourism, events, centers, big corporate retreats, and the rest that can happen over there. Then my final one within this bracket will be the Ghana Center of the World project. As most of you may be aware, Ghana literally is the center of the world. And so the Ghana Center of the World project, being led by the Ghana Tourism Development Company, has about 3 legs. One is a religious-built area where you have the Presby, the Tema Religious Tourism Site location. You have the Presby Church sitting directly on the line. And then also at the ports, you have where the line crosses the Tema port. And so there we will have an iconic tower location. And eventually the Tema Golf Resort is going to be renamed as the Center of the World Golf Resort. Basically, this is also a game changer for the industry because it sits in a very prime area and a prime land where we believe that Ghana has competitive advantages because really we are the only country in the center of the world, so to speak. Now we have also other opportunities in air charters. When we did a year of return, for example, cast your mind back to 2019 December. A lot of people wanting to come to Ghana could not get flights. All the flights were full, but we couldn't, as it were, provide enough flights. And so we're looking at air charters, especially for our peak periods. What we have done is to work with the Ghana Civil Aviation Authority to ease up the regulation around air charters. And so this December, hopefully, we'll see a few charters coming in. But we believe with the bottlenecks cleared, there are opportunities for people who are interested in that area to engage us and engage with local tour operators who are leading that charge. We have a few of them who are here today, and I believe if you go outside, you'll see Adansi Travel and the rest there. They can engage you more on how we can organize all these charters. We're looking at charters to the Caribbean. A lot of our brothers and sisters in the Caribbean wanting to come to Ghana for Panafest, Emancipation, sometimes have to go through Europe and other destinations before they get here. But from here to the Caribbean is probably about a 6-hour journey if we get a direct flight. So charter are a way to bridge that gap. Then we also have our highway rest stops. The travel plazas, as we call them, is also ways that we want to, as the highways are developed and open up, want to put up these highway rest stops as a way to engage people with our local food, local culture, and a few other things. So currently, we have acquired land in these areas, and I believe investors can talk to us on how they come in. We are working with other operators. So Accra Cape Coast Road, which is one of the busiest tourism routes, we have Gomoa Asin as one of them. Then on the Kumasi Tamale Road, we have between Techiman and Kintampo, a site that has been acquired for that. Then Takoradi Azim, we have Aguna Kwanta. Cape Coast Takoradi, we have Shama. And then between Cape Coast and Obuasi, we have Asin Mansu. So as the discussion goes on, hopefully, in the next few years, you'll see these travel plazas coming up in these areas, a decent highway rest stop where people can do a stopover, have a feel of the country's culture, have a feel of our food, and have a feel of everything that represents Ghana. So by and large, we are ready. We believe that tourism is a low-hanging fruit. Our sector has opportunities. It's a growing sector. We've been growing year on year. In 2019, we grew by about 18% when the global average was about 5%. So it offers opportunity, whether it's food, whether it's in the food and beverage category, whether it's the accommodation category, whether it's in the eventing category, or whether it's in the resort category, there are opportunities. In conclusion, the diaspora is key to Ghana's tourism drive. Diasporans have been investing, for a very long time. If you go to Cape Coast, there are tourism investors who are people who had migrated from the United States and from the Caribbean here out of maybe coming to a PANA Fest, like somebody also came to a year of return and has invested. So this has been happening, and we will continue to encourage and engage for that. Ghana is positioning itself as a Pan-African hub, and this offers other key opportunities that have gone over, like the MICE and our digitization, and we look forward to engaging further. You can contact us, info@visitghana.com, but I'm here, Annabelle is also here, and we're ready to take your questions and engage further with you. Thank you very much for your attention.
Okay. Please, put your hands together one more time for Akwesi Agyemang with that fantastic presentation. So as we did yesterday, we'll take 2 quick pitches. Then we'll invite the aforementioned Juliet Asante with a very exciting pitch as well. And we'll have all 4 join the panel. So I'm going to ask Yaya Redrock from Shedike, Ghana, and Barbara Bologakoe. Barbara, get ready. Yaya will do a 2-minute pitch of a project, and then we'll do Barbara as well. So Yaya, where are you? Where are you? Please welcome Yaya from Shedike, Ghana. Quick, 2 minutes. Powerful. Thank you.
Good afternoon to you all.
Good afternoon.
Mr. Ben, this 2 minutes is too small for me to digest what I want to present.
Okay, do 3 minutes.
But I'll do my best. Thank you, Akwesi Agyemang, for setting the tune for me and making my presentation a little bit very easy. We have enumerated a lot of things, so I'll go straight to the point. We are a company from Ashanti region, Kumasi, and we are providing a solution and a future of tourism to complement the great effort tourism and the GIPC drive to drive more FDI to the country. Now, Shaddai, we don't believe in normal business. We go beyond what we want to do. And for every investor, diaspora or partner always seeks for security and guarantee. And as you know, partnership and investment also come hand in hand to get things in the right perspective, not only about money. So Shaddai, among other services, we are focused on developing a MICE sector, that is our focus, which we have been working on over 6 years now, a developing partner to come with this great ecosystem and investment opportunity for all of us to participate. We are developing one of the biggest MICE center in Ankasi in Kumasi, which cover the first phase of 1,000 acre of land out of the first phase. We are developing a convention center, which is the multipurpose, which can host from 20 to 20,000 seating capacity, a theater of 4,500 capacity. We are looking at an exhibition center of 46,000 square meters, which is a very ambitious project. We are also looking at an arena which can host with 30,000 people in a concept of an event. So whatever kind of event you think about, we imagine we have a space for you. And this is an opportunity we can take all. We also come with accommodation. We are adding 7,000 hotel rooms across 17 hotels within the same property. We are bringing in resorts and the hotels from 3 to 4 to 3, 4, and hotel across the chains. Yeah, we are also coming with the leisure part, which we are coming with one of the exciting attractions. We are building Kumasi Beach, which can host 5,000 people at the beach. And then we can have the surfing up to 6 to 7 meters of surf. This will be an incredible one. And we are working with different partners to get that done. We are also bringing Kumasi Ski Resort, which will be one of the experiencing winter all year round with 1.5 kilometers of slope. This is a very exciting opportunity for this particular development we are offering. On equity basis, can join us from the few thousands of dollars, and also from the millions is also welcome. On the property investment opportunities, we are giving the hotel unit for people to invest in and also to take the unit as unit owner, as well as also take the resort villas over the water to participate in these very exciting returns. We have a lot of returns on the investment, which we welcome all of you to join us in order for us to participate in this exciting opportunity. We are not only providing solution, we are providing the future. We are not only providing investment, we are giving you a guarantee and sustainable investment as you come home. We are not giving you only property, rather, we are giving you a dynamic business to enjoy, and also you should leave a legacy. We create an ecosystem where your investments are sure, because imagine all the things about mines and leisure is under one roof, within one enclave to develop the Ghana and to complement the drive we have been doing. We're excited about it, and we have our booths there. You can join us to explore, and those who sign up today will have 5% discounts for our property. We are launching this project in September, and we are so happy to say that the UNWTO Secretary General will be participating in launching and will be graced by our King Santehini to launch this particular great project. I think let's make this happen as we continue to make Ghana great again. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. Yeah, I will have you back on the panel, so you can sit down there. Thank you. Fantastic. We want to welcome from Pixaria Global, Barbara Bologakwe. Thank you very much, Barbara. Please welcome her with a round of applause.
Good afternoon to you all. I'm Barbara from Pixaria, as was introduced, and I'm here to talk to you about an interesting program called the Thai Global Artisans. Can they start showing our presentation, please? Yeah. So the Thai Global Artisans program is actually a program designed to support weavers, particularly kente, smoke weavers, and those in between. And the idea is to be able to create livelihoods, create jobs, and also increase the earnings of the weavers. And so we are combining the tradition and also incorporating some technology and giving them more access to market. This program is implemented by Pixaria Global, but with seed funding from USADF and in partnership with the Association of Ghana Industries. And we have an interesting champion and ambassador for this project, which is the AmCham, the American Chamber of Commerce. Slides? Okay, I'll just continue. So what does Thai seek to do? We are seeking to de-risk the supply chain by purchasing inputs and guaranteeing a fair wage for our artisans. So no slides, okay. And we intend to leverage technology to modernize the authentic hand-making textiles, but also working with them to protect their intellectual property. We also intend to develop relationships between the artisans, which are the weavers, and then the buyers, so that the weavers can focus on their craft, and also increase exports, so that the weavers currently who are making just 20% of their products, in terms of the revenue they are making on their products, we can help them to increase that to about 70%. In our program design, we intend to include as many women and youth in the value chain to help stem some of the migration issues that we have. But most importantly, the Thai project is about protecting the culture. When you think about kente, it's about our royalty, our tradition, and it goes on. What is our strategy? What is our strategy? It's a B2B and a B2C model where we are able to produce textiles to wholesalers and manufacturers, create custom Thai products for corporate and hospitality companies, and also create collections for different brands, but also have a home store as well as an online presence. Currently, we are creating prototypes for the home markets, the conscious luxury markets, and we are looking to test that with the new partners that we would have on board. What is our ask? We are asking for $500,000 as matching funding to what USAID is providing. And that was a matching orders from USAID. We are supporting you with seed funding by go out there and bring in more private sector funding. And we also welcome other donor supports on this project. We believe that the project will become very profitable by year 4. So the beginning part of the project is a gestation period, the development stage. And what will this $500,000 be used for? It will be used to recruit, train, and upskill hundreds of weavers, purchase initial inputs and pay weavers for their outputs, secure initial test orders to test production capacity, conduct textile testing because we have to look at the fading, the strength, the shrinkage, the resistance, activate digital and business literacy programs for the weavers, and then engage artisans with global designers. So this is what the funding will be used for. Who are the partners? Who are the brains behind the Thai Global Artisans? It is Pixera Global and its partners. Like I said from the beginning, we have Association of Ghana Industries as part of this. The American Chamber of Commerce is an ambassador on the project. But we also have our team of Ghanaian and Ethiopian partners, and then also we have some Indian partners on the project. And you may ask why. We have the Indian partners because the Thai Global Artisans actually is a model of the Jaipur rugs. I don't know if anybody knows about Jaipur rugs. And they have successfully transitioned the weaving industry for mats into the conscious luxury market. And we're going to use the same model to support weavers in the Ashanti region, in the Volta region, and the northern region, because we are dealing with kente and smoke. And actually, this project covers 2 countries. It's Ghana and Ethiopia, but the funding that we're asking for here is $500,000 for Ghana. So thank you very much. And my colleague and I are here, Kofi, and we'll be happy to answer questions on the project. We think there's a great opportunity for diasporans to invest in terms of the funding, but also to be volunteers on the project. And I say volunteers because Pixera Global traditionally designs skills-based volunteer programs for corporates like IBM, John Deere, SAP, 3M. And they come out here to provide technical skills for one month, and then they go back. So we believe that there's an opportunity for diaspora to also provide that volunteer support on this Thai Global Artisans program. So thank you very much. And unfortunately, the slides couldn't show, but we'll be happy to answer questions.
Thank you very much, Barbara. We will invite you back on the panel, but please take your seat. I like the simple way you ask for $500,000. You know, it's like, I'm looking for $10,000. I can't get. Somebody's asking, she doesn't even change the look. We just want $500,000, you know. It's great. So, fantastic concept. We'll be happy to engage you with Akwesi and Yaya as well. Now, a couple of quick points to note that we'll be hearing from Juliet Asante, who's the Executive Director of the National Film Authority. She'll do 2 things. There's a video she'll show, 25 projects ready for investment and partnership. Very exciting 6-minute video. And then she would also do a quick presentation, and we'll have the whole panel together. But if you notice, we have 3 ministries pushing this, right? So we have the Foreign Affairs Ministry setting us off. We have the Finance Ministry in the middle. We have the Information Ministry closing us. But today is a very interesting day in government because there's all kinds of things happening. Your speech, or you want to hear Juliet before you speak? Because I know they are waiting for you. Okay, so you hear Juliet out. Nice 6-minute presentation, and then Juliet to dot the I's and cross the T's. Before the panel, Information Minister will speak to us to endorse and tell us that he will support us for the rest of that period. Then he can go to his cabinet meeting. And then we'll continue. We also have the Agric panel coming up. So there's a lot happening. And we'll give you free lunch too. Aren't we good people? Put your hands together for us. So, Juliet, if the video is ready, I'm going to call for